Welcome to Coventry. It's the UK Football America UK University All-Stars Game 2019. My name is Carl Walkinshaw and welcome along to Butts Arena here in Coventry. We've got a beautiful field set out for an epic encounter, we hope, between the north and the south of Bucks University football. I'm here with Joe Walker. How are you doing, Joe?
Great. I am absolutely buzzing about this experience. I'm really looking forward to the game today.
Tell us a bit about how this came about, because it's been 10 years since we had the last north-south encounter, and I believe it was won by the north on a muddy field 10 years ago, and since then there's been nothing, and you've rejuvenated it and brought it back in a new format. Tell us why.
Yeah, I mean, I went and watched that game, and it was a long time ago, showing my age a little bit, but I wanted to, I went in and spoke to our ownership guys and said to them, you know, I've got an idea, and that idea is to reinvigorate All Stars, bring it back under our banner, and give university students a great opportunity to come out, show off how great they are as players, show the country how great they are, and have a fantastic experience, give something back to them.
And the format today is the North against the South. It's Bucks players, and you were eligible if you played last year. Is that correct?
That's correct. So originally we were looking at trying to get this game played in the spring, but due to scheduling issues, BAFA asked us to put it in September. And so it's all the best players that we could that trialled, that we could select from, that are playing and representing the North and South respectively, that played at university last year, yes. And
did you find, Joe, that there were some teams that couldn't take part just because of scheduling?
Unfortunately, yeah. Like anything, it's always going to be difficult with scheduling. You know, really big shout out to the Sterling guys that weren't able to make it because they had camp the weekend of our trials. It's a shame not to see the best players from some of the other universities here, and I'm sure that we would have seen some players representing that aren't unfortunately able to be here today.
Nevertheless, we do have some great talent on show.
Absolutely.
We're going to start with the North team and maybe talk you through some of the coaches and some of the players that you're likely to see. So this one's headed up by Coach Jason Scott. How were the coaches chosen? Was that a sort of natural choice for Jason to take that role?
We just wanted to make it the most interesting pairing we could. And I think that if you have any understanding about British American football and university football, there is very little love lost between Jason and Wayne. They are fierce competitors. They love playing against each other. They are absolutely interested in and excited about going against each other again, seeing as it's very difficult for them to do so nowadays. So we thought that we just wanted to get the best pair in that we could this year, just to bring it back and start off with a bang.
Absolutely. So it's Jason Scott for the North and then Wayne Hill for the South. We'll talk about the South in a minute. But this North team, it's Jason Scott at head coach. Paul Shah heads up as offensive coordinator, your old Loughborough colleague.
Yep, it's still my offensive coordinator at Loughborough. I'm his quarterbacks coach underneath him at the moment. And that was a selection by Jason, but one that I absolutely love.
And then you've also got Danny Ketch from Durham. That's tough and fierce Durham defence. He'll be bringing something to the game as well.
Yeah, he's got some fantastic multiple defence coming out today. It's going to be an interesting game.
Let's see if we can get some of the starters on the screen for you as we talk through just briefly this team before we go to an interview. We do have interviews both with Jason Scott and with Wayne Hill lined up. What strikes me about this wideouts is you've got Price, who I believe is a London Warriors player.
Yep.
Who's shined in the bowl game,
but he plays
for Sheffield.
Yeah, so he's a Sheffield University player, played in Switzerland over the summer, and then also played for the Warriors in their great Brit Bowl win this year. Yeah, so he's an absolute star. Fantastic.
And then interesting, you've also got Marcus Bansky, who plays quarterback for the Leicester Falcons. If you've been following Onside Productions, you'll know that we've covered some of those Leicester games. And so Bansky at wide receiver will be interesting to see.
Absolutely. He is a very, very talented athlete, one that can play quarterback and can play other positions. Here he came and said he wanted to trial as a wide receiver, so he's given every opportunity to play where he wanted to play and show his skills off to the best of his ability.
For those of you that joined us for the Brit Bowl 33 final between the London Warriors and the Tamworth Phoenix, you will recognise the name Angus Cook, who's going to start as the quarterback for the
Proud
North
moment for me.
Today.
I was his quarterback coach last year at Loughborough, so I can't say that I was any good at coaching a quarterback, but it's very nice for him to be starting there, and an absolute menace with his feet. He will run over players. He will run for yardage in every opportunity to do so. Paul Sherritt's offensive coordinator. I'll give you 2 guesses about what they're going to be doing a little bit
Yeah,
today.
and that's interesting, isn't it? Because we're not sure exactly how much playbook we're going to see. They've only had 4 weeks to prepare these coaches. So how deep can they go into a playbook?
So I know the playbooks, which is quite nice. I've got a bit of insight.
Anything away, Joe?
But yeah, I mean, the North are a little bit more run-heavy. They're both shotgun teams. The North will favour running the ball a little bit more. The South may pass it a little bit more, and that sort of plays to their strengths a little bit with the athletes that they've got today. So that's what we should be expecting to see. Expect to see quarterback run from the North. Expect to see quarterback run.
Good stuff. All right, we're going to line you up now with the interview with head coach Jason Scott. We spoke to Jason Scott, obviously coming off his Brit Bowl loss to the London Warriors, one of the busiest men in British American football. Here's that interview now. And I'm here with head coach Jason Scott of the North All-Stars team today, but also head coach Jason Scott of the Tamworth Phoenix and the University of Nottingham. Are you the busiest man in British American football?
I'll try to be, Carl. I try to keep myself busy, keep myself out of trouble. It's been a pretty hectic few months for me, but I don't think I'd have it any other way.
So today we're talking to you in the context of your head coaching role for the North team. You've had about 4 weeks, I think, to prepare this. How does a coach prepare for a game in 4 weeks?
Well, it's easy when you've got players of the calibre we have and coaches of the calibre we have. You know, everyone's motivated to be here. It's a voluntary process. Everyone's signed up because they want to be part of something bigger than what they've played in before. So the guys have come in, they've really bought into what we're doing. Coach Shah and Coach Ketch are 2 phenomenal coordinators. They're going to run the offence and defence respectively and allow me to pretty much enjoy the day today, I think.
And it was back in 2008, 2009 that you last coached this team. Actually, we've not seen the return of the All-Stars game today. So you ended there 10 years ago coaching with a North win, I think, and you're back here today. How does that feel?
Absolutely. On a muddy field at Buckinghamshire New University, Ben Barker took a sluggo 60 yards and we won 8-6, I think. Much different from what it is today. And I think it really shows how the game has grown in the UK. From playing on a university field with borough jerseys to a spectacle like this at a quality facility with amazing facilities and excellent uniforms, well organised by Football America UK.
What can we expect today? Are we looking at a slimmed down playbook, or are you going to throw everything out there?
I think it's going to be slimmed down, but it's going to have a lot of fun in it. You know, everyone who's followed the Nottingham teams and the Tamworth teams know that I want to coach with a lot of juice, a lot of passion, a lot of energy and a lot of fun. So we'll try some different things, and if they don't work, they don't work. You know, at the end of the day, I want the players to really experience an all-star type vibe. And certainly everyone's clapping and applauding and having fun, and you know, it's easy to get our players up for a game like this.
Would you single out any real superstars on the team today that we need to keep an eye on as spectators?
I think we're full of superstars, to be honest. I'd be remiss not to talk about Mark Price, wide receiver, played at London Warriors this summer, won a national championship. Adam Bamba had a phenomenal season this summer with the Manchester Titans. Angus Cook, quarterback, played at the Phoenix this summer. And defensively all across the board. You know, we've got Ash Miller, who's a stalwart of British University football, and Josh Penny at the back there. So a lot of guys who've played a lot of football over the summer, played a lot of football for their universities. And yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do together.
Now, we saw 3 onside kicks in the final against the London Warriors, so we always expect the unexpected from you. Can you give us any tips as to what surprises are in store?
Carl, you said it yourself, expect the unexpected. You never know what I've got up my sleeve. I've cut my sleeves off today. I'm rocking the Belichick look, so there'll be stuff in there for the spectators, which may be a little bit unusual.
All right, excellent. And with that promise, we'll let you go and get prepped. Head coach Jason Scott.
Thanks, Carl.
Great interview with Jason Scott there. It's worth mentioning, actually, the weather this morning. It was raining very heavily. Is that going to have an impact on the game, Joe?
I hope it won't. I want to see some fantastic offence being played today. I want to see the ball being kept in hands and caught all over the field. So my hope is that it's going to withhold and it's going to stay dry. At least in this beautiful stadium at Butts Park Arena, we are fully undercover for all the fans, so they will not be getting wet. So the only players getting wet today will be the people on the field.
Absolutely. So if you are close by, come down. If not, then we hope you'll continue to watch us on Onside Productions. I think we're going to take a short break before we then come back with your analysis of the South team. All right, so we're going to go straight to our analysis of the South team now. As we said earlier, this head coach, Wayne Hill, who we know is BAFA president currently, so he's taking some time off to come here and do this game. How's he responded to the challenge?
Oh, fantastically. And we, I've had a little bit of pressure by saying, well, he's not a current university head coach, but if you can tell me a better person to be at the head of this programme this year, then I'll be more than happy to listen to options. He's a great coach. He's somebody who I've always enjoyed working with, both at GB Students and all those sorts of levels, and it's really nice to see him back in a coaching capacity.
And then at offensive coordinator, you've got Rob Lowe from Reading University. Just as the teams come out onto the field now, you'll hear the cheer from the crowd. So offensive coordinator Rob Lowe from Reading, and then defensive coordinator Luke Hextall makes up the defensive coordinator role.
Absolutely, yeah, and a great young coach, learning quite a little bit under Wayne Hill, I think, for the game, running Wayne's defence, but doing so in a very positive way. Rob actually has just stepped down as the head coach at Reading, so this is a really nice sort of step out of university football for a little bit for him.
Excellent. And turning our attention to some of the players on this South team. We've got the starters for the defence here. It's worth saying as well that there's a mix of players across all three different levels of university football.
Yeah, and that's something that we were passionate about trying to show. It would be really easy for us to come out here and have 45 players all from the Premiership, but there is talent at Div 1 level. There is talent at the Division 2 level, and you'll see that on the field today.
Yeah, there was six people, I think, on the South team, all from Div 2 that have made the 45-man squad. So that's good going for the Div 2. And one of those players is defensive tackle Benjamin Jones. Tell us about him.
He is a man mountain. The only guy wearing a 4XL jersey today. He's absolutely huge. He is violent. And to be honest, that whole defensive line from the South are scary. Cedric Akrong, is probably 6'6", 6'7". There's Rodon Zakiri on the other side. He's played all over Europe. Absolute monster. It is a worrying. I would not want to be playing quarterback today. Put it that way.
And Wayne Hill, obviously a defensive focused coach, comes from a defensive background, so he'll want to make sure
he'll be making the most
showing.
of them today. Absolutely.
And on the offensive side, tell us about some of the stars for the South.
So there's their starter today at quarterback is Ali Shaw. He's a great quarterback. He's been at Southampton for a few years now. One of the really nice stories is Mide Segun from Queen Mary and Barts. He had some time away this last year due to some health problems himself, and this is his first game back in football, and we're really, really proud to see his parents here today supporting him and for him to get back into football in such a big stage. It's fantastic.
All right, we're going to line up the Wayne Hill interview now. We got interview with Wayne where he goes into his excitement about hearing him at the game. So let's hear from Wayne Hill now. Hi, I'm here with Wayne Hill, who's the head coach today of the South All-Star teams. Hi, Wayne, good to see you.
Hi, great to see you, Carl.
What's it like being back on the sideline? Because I know you've taken a break due to your BAFA presidency this year, so you must be happy to be back on the sideline today.
Yeah, it's been great working with the players, being back on the sideline, that kind of work with the coaches as well. It's just been great being back around and seeing that energy from everybody. So, yeah, really excited to be back.
Now, in terms of prep for this game today, you haven't had very long, have you? You had the trials back 4 years ago. 4 years ago? 4 weeks ago, I think.
Wish it was 4 years ago.
You had it 4 weeks ago. So how do you prep for a game with such short notice?
Yeah, it's been pretty difficult for us, pretty tight turnaround time. So, obviously, all the players had like a slimmed down playbook for the trials, and then we obviously ramped it up a little bit for the practice. A lot of stuff's been done via email and social media, so using Facebook as a group to get our special teams installed and ready to go as well. So all three phases of the game have been really important to get some basic information in there for them, but really to try and limit the install for them so they can really play fast and showcase their skills, because today's about them more than anything.
And there's been a lot of interest in this game, isn't there? There's about 100 players turned up for the trial itself, and you've whittled that down to a squad today. But in terms of interest in the game generally, it's been 10 years since this game was played. Are you glad to see it back? Yeah,
I'm delighted to see it back. 10 years is a long time. I was obviously coaching on those Southern All-Star teams back in the day, so had a great experience meeting a great amount of players and great amount of coaches during that time, and we had a lot of fun, and some amazing players came through those North and South teams back in the day. So hopefully now we'll be rejuvenated and be able to see those players showcase their skills now.
So your adversary today is Coach Jason Scott, who's coaching the North team, and I know you've had battles with him through the past, through a long history that you guys have had as top coaches in the UK. What are you expecting today from Jason Scott?
Yeah, I mean, Jason's a fantastic coach. He's got a great coaching staff around him. So they've obviously got limited preparation just like we have. So that kind of is a bit of an even playing field. But they're going to be excited. There's definitely going to be a physical outfit. So that's what you always get from the North. The physicality is there. And hopefully we'll get the finesse from the South and the speed that we know is there from our players.
And who should we be watching on the South team today?
There's quite a few players out there to watch. I mean, obviously, don't want to name too many guys, but I think Granite, obviously, at the receiver position is fantastic. Obviously, he's got European experience there. We've got Rodon and Cedric on the defensive side of the ball, who are both phenomenal defensive players and will be obviously have played at GB student or GB adult level, and Cedric's got a really bright future ahead of him. So, but there is probably too many to name. It's great to see some of those Division 2 players come out to the trial and make the squad and just really be in the starting position. So great opportunity for them.
All right, as the rain comes down here in Coventry, we'll let you get off and get yourself prepped. Head coach Wayne Hill, thanks very much for speaking to us.
Cool, thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
That interview was run about half an hour ago. You could hear the rain actually battering off the stands here, so you get a sense of what it was like. And Wayne interestingly said that he expected physicality of the North against the finesse of the South. What do you think, Joe?
I think the South will be just as physical. I'm not surprised by that at all. There's some big boys on that South team, and they will all be physical. I think that the North are traditionally more physical, and the South are more finesse, but today I would expect to see a great level of football on both sides of the field.
Now, it wouldn't be without Football America UK that this game's possible, this University All-Stars game, and your company continues to go from strength to strength. Tell us some stuff that's coming up.
Well, you know, we constantly want to hold ourselves as the UK's number one supplier for all things American football. Growth into Europe is a big part of what we're trying to do, and this is part of that as well. We just want to constantly provide the UK American football scene and the European American football scene with the best of equipment, NFL merchandise, and anything to do with the sport that we can at the highest level we can, and provide them with great customer service at the same time. That's what we're hoping for.
Thanks, Joe. So this game's sponsored by Football America UK. It's the University All-Stars game. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we will have live action from the game North versus South.
Good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're watching this. Hope you have a great day. I hope this podcast has made you smile a little bit. I hope it's given you a bit more insight into on what we do and why we do it. But yeah, just keep on listening and thank you.
Southampton, Daniel Odoy-Asari up the middle there for very little gain. Your quarterback today is Ali Shaw, plays for Southampton, studying medicine at Southampton.
So Alistair has many of the young players that you're going to see here. Alistair, I believe, is only 21 years young, and quite a bit of youth here, but we do have some experience. Some players have played up to 13 years that are in this game.
Fumble
and there's a
on
fumble.
the field, and it looks like the North have recovered. We talked about the ferocity of that North defence. Obviously, Jason Scott, defensive focused coach, and he'll be happy with that turnover. So for Blue, the South, that 85-yard touchdown wiped off the board. Now they lose the ball.
What a momentum swing there, and I can't help but think that this rain had an effect. It is actually raining sideways right now, and it's hard to get a grab on that football. We saw a bobbled snap on the first run, and then a fumble there on the next one.
So it's the North that take over inside South territory on their 46-yard line going into the North, as a familiar face, Angus Cook, gets under centre from that shotgun position, the Tamworth Phoenix quarterback, and he hands the ball off, and that's going nowhere as that Southern defence make their presence felt early on. That's Jamal Avaranga trying to get round the edge there.
Carl, I'm not surprised that the defenses seem to be picking up here a bit quickly. Most of these university players, they certainly haven't been with this team because they only got one practice together. But it's a bit more instinctual for them to pick up these types of plays, get those wide runs shut down.
Running back in the backfield there from Div 2 team Lincoln University team there, starting in that halfback position. It's good to see him on the field as Angus took now 2nd and 15 from the halfway point, does hand the ball off, and again it's good strong defense. I think that was number 63 for the North in on the tackle.
Seems like both teams are trying to establish the run game. Maybe the weather is playing a factor there. Nothing against that too high safety look, still shut down in the box.
Benjamin Jones, number 63, in on the tackle there, making his presence felt early, is the big defensive tackle. So what can they do? Long and third down, 3rd and 15 here. Will the South bring the blitz? They send 5. Screen pass out to the left-hand side, in some space. Nice cut by Bansky, but he finally goes down after 5 yards, and that's Marcus Bansky on the reception, but they're going to be in a punt situation. Well, normally it would be, but it's an all-star game, Sean. What do you call here?
You got to go for it. I mean, I'm sure there's an all-star punter who is tremendous, but on this opening drive, you want to get on the board.
Do we want to see the all-star punters?
Of course I do. Of course
All right.
You got to love that,
so
but they're going for it here.
4th and 6, and Jason Scott makes the first gutsy call of the day.
That's no surprise from Jason, is it?
Puts it in the hands of Paul Sharrett, his OC, and they may have got an offside penalty.
Here's a free play going deep.
Free go downfield, incomplete. All right, so the flag, we'll see. It should be just short of the first down, I would have thought, the 5 yards for the offside penalty on the defense, which we are fully expecting here, but let's hear.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
So that's referee Brian Yates, stalwart of the game. Good to see him refereeing this all-star game today. And that will give them a 4th down and about 1.
That's a real short one there, less than a yard.
Timeout. North. Their first of the half.
So Jason Scott wants to get his offense together and get OC, Paul Sharrett over and have a chat about this.
Time of the timeout is 8 minutes, 47 seconds.
Have a chat about this 4th down play. What do you see happening here, Sean?
Well, there should be no surprise to anyone that Jason's going to go for it here. One, there isn't a kicker listed on the roster that we have, so somebody's pulling double duty there. But 2, Jason's the coach that had back-to-back onside kicks in the Brit Bowl final just a few weeks ago. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a gutsy call here.
So here we go, 4th down, 36-yard line. They've got to get past that 35-yard line. This pitch only marked out yesterday, and overnight it rained, so they came back onto the field today and were marking out the field as late on as midday today. Yet it looks great, so we can clearly see where they need to get. Just a yard needed from Angus Cook in this offense. And Angus has got to keep himself, but it's a messed play. But Angus Cook does enough with his legs to get the first down. It was clearly a busted play. He was trying to get the ball to Jamal Alvaranga, but had to take the ball himself, Sean.
I can't say that that's how they drew it up, but we heard from Coach Scott in the pregame that Angus is going to run through people and he's going to make plays, and he made something out of nothing there. Only needed about 2 feet.
Still a young guy, Angus Cook, his whole career ahead of him, just 22 years old, this Loughborough quarterback. Studied aeronautical engineering, and obviously we saw what he can do in that Brit Bowl 33 final. And he's got him a first down here from the 34-yard line. Here come the South. First down. Angus keeps it himself, wants to get the ball to 22, and that's well defended.
There is a flag on the play as well at the bottom of your screen.
Trying to get the ball that time to George Henry Cox, his tight end from Loughborough. Loughborough
Offside. Defense, number 59. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So that's Rodon Zakiri offside, the Brunel defensive lineman. Well represented Loughborough here today. And that was Angus Cook trying to get it to his Loughborough teammate. Unfortunately, incomplete to George Henry Cox. That'll bring up, with the offside, it's going to bring up 1st and 5.
Yeah, Loughborough's got great representation here. Not a surprise with that solid program. And obviously, they're going to be trying to participate in a game like this with Joe Walker.
Bansky in the backfield here with Jamal. Angus Cook goes to a Bansky. That's well defended. And there's some afters. They come here to play this game. For those of you that watch the Pro Bowl, you'll be thinking, well, there was not going to be much contact. But actually, this is full contact British American football, and these players have come to shine today and show what they can do.
Well, I would say right there that Edward One-Main hasn't heard the memo if you're not supposed to tackle hard in an all-star game. What a hit there. You could hear that all the way from the booth.
Absolutely.
Some nice physical football there coming up. And they're still playing that tight man coverage on both corners with so many people in the middle.
2nd and 5 motion. They hand off to a Bansky who tries to turn the corner, but that South defense nice and tough on the edge. And it's number 54 for the South, Joseph Chung, the Brunel linebacker, that bounces a Bansky out of bounds. This will now bring up 3rd and 9.
Some nice gang tackling there by the South. You got to get your linemen out in space and make some better blocks than that. If you're going to run wide against a defense like this, you're going to need some extra men to get it done.
So again, this South defense push this North offense back, put him in a 3rd and long situation. Single back now, Jamal Bansky, joined by 2 of his teammates, who trips to the bottom of your screen, nothing to the top. There is a tight end in. Cook looks for the short pass to Jamal, gets it, good block. Jamal off to the races. And that's a nice saving tackle there from the linebacker. We just mentioned his name. It's Joseph Chung making 2 consecutive tackles. That one saved a touchdown.
A great job by Angus there to dump that ball off. He's now been hit down to the ground twice today. Nothing too late, just a nice hard hit by the defense. Got the ball out of his hand, and the running back made a play with it there, getting that first down.
So Alvaranga from Lincoln University, the early impact running back for the North, gets them a first down. Just goes to show you get that blocking up front, you can just dump the ball off nice and safely. This time they go with a heavy set to the left here. We expected the North to be slightly more run heavy. Wayne Hill was expecting. Well, here we go. Left-hand side. This time, different running back gets met early.
Now that's Angus Davis, also out of Loughborough University. And that's we're going to hear a lot of those Loughborough names here today. Just a short run up the middle, 2 or 3 yards there. A nice push from the offensive line.
Loughborough University run that flex bone really well, don't they? So all of their players well equipped to run the ball, whether you play on that.
Yeah, they're going to take to this really well. They have a similar offense to that particular play, and I wouldn't be surprised to them go back to that a little bit later today.
2nd and 8. Just outside the 10-yard line. The North looking to put the first score up. That one's fumbled. Angus Cook tries to make something out of it, and he's well met by number 33 on that South defense. Comes up to make the tackle.
Now that's the 3rd bobbled snap that we've seen today. one leading to a fumble and two leading to either broken plays or just kind of dead plays for no gain. I wonder if that's the center quarterback exchange. It's pretty foreign. They only had one practice together, so you're not going to get the ball exactly where you're used to, and it's not going to come how you'd like it.
Chad Walron, Hertfordshire defensive back, coming up from that safety position to make the tackle on Angus Cook. And again, 3rd and long. Last time they converted on the screen. Let's see what they can do here, the North. It's Davis in the backfield, but Angus throws the ball up. We'll see if we can get a call. Is that a turnover to the South or an incomplete pass?
Well, they've ruled it with a stoppage in clock, so that tells us oh, there we go. It is a turnover.
And that's a turnover to the North. So the South, sorry. So the South get the ball back after the turnover from the North. And those early jitters and those punishing defensive line really showing early.
I'd have to see a replay there. I'm not entirely convinced that Angus's arm wasn't moving a bit forward, but if it was hit in one of those empty hand situations, then it would be an fumble rather.
1st and 10 then for the South. No score yet. We've seen one score wiped off the board. We've seen 2 turnovers already in this first quarter.
Seeing some conversations here on the bottom of your screen by 2 South receivers. Let's see what they're cooking up down there.
So it's the South as the blitz comes up the middle. Quarterback under immediate pressure, scampers to his left, but cannot escape this North defense. And the sack's going to be given there to number 55 on the North, and that is Emmanuel Falola, who plays his defense at Coventry University.
A great job there. Initial pursuit right up the middle, flushed the quarterback out of the pocket, but it actually took 2 to get the quarterback down. Great way to make sure they couldn't get a play downfield on that scramble.
So Ali Shaw not having much success here, still back in his spread offense, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom, 1 running back in. North threatening blitz again. This time they don't come, but it's a bad snap, and down goes Ali Shaw. They're just waiting for him there. No chance for him to make a play on that one. The tackle made there by Io Oalola.
Io says Ayo to the quarterback there, bringing him down. Got a bit of an ooh and an ah from the crowd.
Certainly did. University of Nottingham student studying law, just 20 years old. With the tackle, it's going to bring up 3rd and 11 for Ali Shaw, who's the starter in the South. Takes the snap. Looking for a man downfield, but that's straight into the North hands. And that defender just lurking there is Mofu Jaibo with the interception and the 3rd turnover of the game.
There is a flag on the play, but I believe it's a hold, but we'll have to see what the referee calls here. It could be a big turnover. That defender just sitting right there waiting for the ball.
Personal foul, chop block on the offense, number 79 and 74. That penalty will be declined. First down.
So the interception will stand. And that was a great play by Mofi Jayibo, although you felt like Ali Shaw gave him every opportunity to make that catch.
Yeah, he threw it up a bit high. That particular pass, a bit of a lollipop, and it landed right in the hands of the defender, who made a good job grabbing that ball there.
Of course, these teams have only been together for 4 weeks. The trials were only 4 weeks ago. They had to whittle the players down from 100 to 45, and then the offense haven't really had that much time to practice together.
Well, and there's only been one practice. I mean, 4 weeks sounds like you can get a lot of work done, but they've only been together for an actual practice once.
So you can do a lot on defense in one
Prior
practice,
to
but
the snap,
tougher to do it on offense.
Substitution infraction, 12 men on the field. On the defense, there's a 5-yard penalty.
There's that defense, maybe a bit of experience as well, with 12 men on the field, as we heard from the referees.
So Brian Yates giving us the call there. That will give the North 1st and 5, 12 men on the field, so the woes for the South continue.
We'll have to look to see if Alvarenga can do something here.
Cook back to throw, looks to his left, lots of time, but that's incomplete. Nice coverage from the defender there, number 24, blue. And that's
Samuel Frazier over out of Brunel, making a nice impact there just as the ball touched the receiver's hands.
So these offenses struggling to get started. We did have that big play early but it's been lots of turnovers since then.
That big play might be more costly as we go on if the game keeps going like this.
This one's handed off to the right-hand side, and again, good pursuit from those South. There is nothing there, no way to turn the corner as the tackle comes in from Alexander Ampleford, the Portsmouth defensive back.
Finley Old came out there from the tight end spot and just could not seal the edge. He kind of got stuck in no man's land between pushing the man outside, trying to hook him inside. Running back couldn't get around.
Foul, chop block, number 62 and number 68. 15-yard penalty, remains second down.
So that's James Charles Bacon being called on the penalty there. And that'll push the North back, and the woes for the offence continue. But you would expect this, Sean, wouldn't you, in terms of team that's only had one practice together?
I would. A chop block is an interesting penalty. It's probably a bit of a lack of communication between those offensive linemen. When you play with someone, you get a rapport for who's going to go high, who's going to go low, who's going to hand people off. And if you don't have that, you're going to end up with a few extra penalties. We've seen that so far today.
Second and long now for Angus Cook and this North offence. Cook looks to his right, goes right, and that is dropped. That was a nice pass from Angus Cook, but the receiver, Tom Moore, could not hold on to that, the Loughborough receiver. That'll bring up third and long. Here's the replay.
Cook looks to his right, goes right, and that is dropped. That was a nice...
You can see there Sam Frazier behind the receiver waiting with some anxious feet to lay the wood if that receiver manages to bring the ball in.
So it brings up third and long. Now the South can bring some pressure here, put Angus Cook under pressure. We know he's good with his feet, so they're going to have to watch that. Let's see what South only going with 3 defensive linemen. Maybe they'll bring pressure from linebackers. They do. Pressure off the right-hand side, and it gets there. So the blitz dialed up by Wayne Hill, and that's Sam Hyde, the defensive back from Royal Holloway, that chases Angus Cook down for the sack. And now you got third and a fourth and a cab ride.
From linebackers.
Replay.
They do. Pressure off the right-hand side, and it gets there.
Bit of penetration
So the blitz dialed up.
Making that great play from behind. Angus is good with his feet, but you're not going to outrun a DB running while you're still looking downfield to make a pass.
Fourth and long, you would expect the punt here as number 10 comes on for the North. And that's actually the UClan quarterback, Joshua Mills. See what role he has to play here, getting him to hurry up. Looks like he is going to go back to punt.
Yeah, fourth and eternity here. No surprise with that decision.
So some great pressure from the South forcing this punt. And it's a pooch kick. It's well placed. And it's going to come to rest inside the 5 all the way down to the 4. So a really nicely placed kick by Joshua Mills, who's listed as the UClan quarterback, making his impact. That's going to push this South offense back inside their own 5-yard to start.
What a great punt there. It's not a lot of height, but as long as you kick it away from the returner, that's the right decision. And the Gunners did a great job getting downfield there to down it if needed.
Time remaining in the first quarter is 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes.
So 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Fast quarter so far, Carl.
Well, we've had lots of action. We've already had 1 touchdown wiped off the board by a penalty. We've had 3 turnovers. We've had sacks, and here comes more pressure from the North this time as they try and get out to the South of their own end zone, rather the shadow of their own goalposts, and they do make some gain there. So a nice run from number 9 on first down. Here's the replay.
That's a great seal by the right tackle there, just driving them downfield, getting to that outside shoulder. If you're a defense, you're going to bring that many men up the middle. You got to make sure to contain the outside. Right tackle there made sure that was not possible. That's a big number 70, Lawrence Cornwall Baptiste out of Portsmouth.
So Adoy Asari on the run there. Here's Ali Shaw again, hands it off to Asari, looking now to his left. Good speed, and he breaks the first tackle, and it's going to take a lot of red jerseys to drag him down, but not before he gets that first down, does Adoy Asari.
I'm loving the blocking right now by the South. What an excellent receiver block there.
So here's the replay on that. Sorry, you can see he's got an Olympian's helmet on there, so clearly good pedigree. Plays his university ball at Greenwich. Ali Shah now with motion, but he's going to take the snap. And again, it's Adoy Asari up the middle this time. And that's good defense coming up to meet him.
Just a nice little jump cut there by Asari, getting those first 5 yards, making a very manageable second down. It's a bit of wind blowing everything across the field right now. You have to wonder if that's going to keep them on the ground.
Lewis Freeman on the tackle for the North, 2nd and 5 on this drive. This drive that started at their own 4-yard line, the South. Ali Shah hands it off again. Good penetration by that defense. It's 59 that gets there first, and that's Aaron Mahanadas.
There's that Warwick University defensive lineman there. Not only good penetration, but wrapped him up and made sure he didn't get down. Gained just about a yard.
Did well to get a yard as we come to the end of this first quarter, with the score 0-0 here.
Not too surprising so far, Carl. Here for the ref.
Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I got to hear those refs. Very important call. So it is the end of the quarter. A little bit of a messy ball game so far. Not too surprising considering one practice. These guys aren't mostly on the same team. But we've also seen some good plays, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Been really impressed by the blocking and tackling by the South.
Did have a score wiped off the board. First play of the game. The receiver in blue. If you've just joined us, it's North versus South. And it was number 20, Quinn Pryor, that went 85 yards for the touchdown, but it was called back from a penalty. Since then, we've had no end zone action. 3 turnovers, big defense. And now the South are trying to get that run game going to get their first score. 3rd and 5 as we start Q2 here in this Football America UK University All-Stars game. Blitz threatened, and here it comes, but they get the ball to number 11 out wide, the Hertfordshire receiver, I believe. And that is Benny Deborah. Sorry, it's Portsmouth helmet we saw there. And he picks up a couple to make it 3rd and short.
What a great cutback. We've seen those short or wide runs get shut down so much throughout the day. Get that sharp cutback on a step, but he does fall short, making it 4th and 1, looking for another punt here.
Football America supplied all of the kits for both this North and South team. Great stadium here at Butts Arena. And a big 4th down. Now they come out looking like they're going to punt, and you would expect that from the 31.
2 men back to receive this punt. Everybody else on the
it's
line.
It's a fake, and they are going to run the ball up the middle, and he's close, and he may have it. And that is Daniel Adoy Asari, who took the direct snap to the up-back off the punt formation, and he's going to get Blue a 1st down. So, anything you can do, Jason Scott, going for it on 4th down. Wayne Hill can do too. Battle of these big coaches.
Exactly. These coaches don't get to play or have their teams play each other too much directly now, but they have a long history of coaching as assistants against each other. I'm sure there's a bit of a rivalry there, trying to do a bit of one-upsmanship.
4 receivers out now for Ali Shah as he picks up that 1st down. Again, this drive started at their 4-yard line, and they're keeping it alive. Ali Shah takes the ball, goes wide, caught, cuts back underneath against the grain, picks up yards, and a nice hit to end that play. That's number 52 coming in with the big boom, and that's Io Oalola, who we've called already the University of Nottingham defender.
Here we have some nice head fakes on this run. It's just a little bubble screen out to the outside. You see him juke 2 defenders and then get brought down. It's a hard hit, but he's probably going to take 6 yards.
It's Quinn Pryor who scored that touchdown that was called back on the penalty on the first play of the game. 2nd and 4 now for Ali Shah and his South team. Slow snap, and that's going to be caught in the backfield. And again, 52, having a field day on 2 consecutive plays. Io Oalola with the sack.
Making a name for himself so far today. As you said, a very slow snap. I felt like the defender got there before the ball did. It's good anticipation, but also, if you're the center, then you got to get that ball back a bit quicker.
Studying law, Oalola. at the University of Nottingham.
Well, he's enforcing the law right now.
Absolutely. Plays his senior ball with the London Olympians. Snap to Ali Shaw on 3rd and 5. Rolls out to his right. Guns one. Complete. Quinn Pryor. First down south.
That's great to see there. He got a rollout and give himself a little bit of extra time. You know, this defense is bringing pressure up the middle. Gets himself outside the pocket. Flips his hips really well. Throws off his back foot and a dart downfield just past the 50.
That's Anusha Fulford, not Quinn Pryor with the first down. So Fulford with his first catch of the game, and it's a big one to keep this drive moving and into North Territory now.
Now you look here, the slot receiver on the right is quite off the line.
End around, and it's busted. Number 55 blitzing through that A-gap. That's Emmanuel Falola.
You have to wonder if the defense picked up the same thing here. You watch there, yes, it's great penetration, but when that slot receiver is so far off the line, you got to think they're doing something different with them. So they might have known that's where the ball was going.
Coventry University had that great run this year, won their premiership, and it's off the back of plays like that by their defensive star. As Ali Shaw now finds himself 2nd and 15 back in his own territory as the blitz comes. He lofts one up. 2 defenders, incomplete.
Great bracketing defense there. You got one go up and get the tip, and then the other one makes sure that the receiver is well handled. Great job, great coverage. Probably not the most intelligent throw in that case, looking downfield to make a play, but you got 2 defenders surrounding the guy.
Ali Shaw now 3rd and 15 after that incompletion.
Saw that big conversion earlier on the drive. Let's see if they can do it again.
They bring 4 on a stunt to the north, and Blue keep it on the ground, trying to find the edge, and knocked out of bounds after a gain of just 3 is Granite Yuka. His name was mentioned by Wayne Hill at the start of the game. Kingston wide receiver. Here's the replay.
We do have some flags on the play as well to cover the laundry. Here on that wide run, as we wait for the refs, a bit of a missed block by the receiver out there on the edge. I think if Joe Bendel made that block, it really would have allowed that running back to cut up.
Josh Penny from Stirling University coming in to make the critical tackle on 3rd down there. As we hear from Brian Yates.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist on the offense. That penalty will be declined. 4th down.
Not too much of a surprise there to see that decline, trying to make it a nice 4th and long. We're looking at another punt. A bit long for a direct snap to your up back here.
Ha! Quite right, Sean. 4th down now for Blue. They are just in North Territory. They're going to want to try and pin the North back as those receivers backing up. Here comes the punt. It's high, it's short, it takes a Blue bounce, and it's going to come to rest at the 17-yard line.
Well, that ain't it, Chief. That's not the type of punt you want in this situation. You want to kick it deep, let your cover guys make a play, get them inside the 20. Here they're at just about the 20-yard line, maybe the 19.
So no score here if you've just joined us. You are watching the Football America UK University All-Stars game 2019. 10 years since this game was played previously, and it was a low-scoring affair back 10 years ago. I don't know whether we're going to see a repeat of that today.
What a great way to start the uni season. I know they initially wanted this in the spring, but all of us, we get a little warmed up now, as most of these university teams are just starting training in the last couple of weeks.
Angus Cook, first down for the North, goes to the pass, and that left his hand like a wounded duck.
I think the receiver was open there. He could have gone downfield. He was deeper than the deepest man. There wasn't a safety that was going to catch him. Just a bad pass there. Maybe a bit rushed, let it out his hand a bit awkwardly.
We know Angus can run, and we saw what he can do through the air in that great Brit Bowl 33 final we covered here at Onside Productions.
What a great game that was. Gutsy calls, great plays, and several of the players from that game here today.
Yeah, both the Warriors and the Phoenix represented here today. As Angus Cook, 2nd and 10, hands this one off to his on the end around. That's Adam Bamba from UCLan, runner-up in that Div 1 final. Nothing there.
Quite a bit of tacklers in there, but nice to see Benjamin Jones from the Oxford Brooks landing on top of that pile. What a nice hit. We've seen a lot of bobbled snaps so far, Carl. I think I'm counting about 6 or 7 and some wobbly ones that have really played into an effect. I wonder if that's a little bit of nerves or if it's just coming into a game you haven't played that much in maybe a month or two.
Third and 11 now for Angus Cook and the North. Trying to get something going on offense. Over the middle. Oh, that's a hell of a collision, shoulder to shoulder. Both players going for the ball.
Now that's Sam Frazier again. The crowd, I think, maybe wanted a flag, but if that ball touched the receiver's hands, you can let the wood like that. That's totally fine. We'd have to see a replay on the exact timing, but certainly a hard hit by Frazier there. Seeing if we can get a replay.
Back to the live action now. So that hit's going to bring up 4th and 11 for this North offense.
Only one man back there for the South, just to the right of your screen, waiting his own 35.
Punter in is Joshua Mills, low snap, fields it, up it goes, and again it's high and short. Takes the North bounce out of bounds, and it's just going to get inside blue territory. So the South are going to take over on their own 48.
That wasn't a perfect punt, but it was a better punt than the South kicked their way, so they ended up gaining a bit in the field situation.
So back and forth, these two head coaches, Jason Scott and Wayne Hill, both defensive-minded coaches, and that's what we're seeing early. As Brian Yates lets us know time left in the half. Still Ali Shaw in at that starting quarterback for the South. Obviously plenty of depth on both of these squads. High snap, hands off, 26 looking for the edge, nothing there. 23 pulls him down. Tackle made that time by Finley Old.
That's a great job by the North
Sorry,
defense
not Finley
there.
Old, Sean, that's Ashley Miller.
They're just sniffing out these wide runs. You're just not getting around the edge. Hard to get that blocking and some really good gang tackling in pursuit. Now, if you look on your screen, you see big number 23 for the North. I believe his nickname is the Wedge, and no surprise there where that nickname comes from.
2nd and 13. Ali Shaw goes his left, man open, dropped. Benny Deborah dropping that one. The Portsmouth wide out, not able to haul that one in.
Bit of a fadeaway pass there. Quarterback feeling a bit of pressure, falling backwards as he threw that. So it got there a bit slow, allowed the defender to make that play.
3rd and long then.
These quarterbacks getting a bit beat up today. It's real impressive for them to just keep stepping up, see if they can make a play on 3rd long.
What can Ali Shaw with twins to the top and bottom, one back in. Slow snap again under pressure, and down he goes for the 3rd time today, and that's the 2nd sack of the day for that man again, Ayo Oyalola.
2 defenders ready to make that sack, but Ayo getting there a bit faster. Big play there, making this 4th and, 25, 30?
Very simple play, that one, for the sack. Just overload. They send 3 against 2, and Ayalola with the sack again.
Until you beat pressure, someone's going to keep sending it. Until you figure out a way to get around it, get the ball out quickly, they're going to send that all day.
You know that defensive coordinator for the South is going to be looking at that. Here's the punt. High, but more distance this time. Takes a blue bounce down to the 24, and they're going to stop the roll there. So, sorry, that's the 29.
That's a better punt, and as you said, a very friendly blue bounce. You can hear that away call. Those off the ground a bit hard to read, and it falls just inside the 30. impressive day so far by these defenses. It's easy to say, oh, people are rusty or whatever, but you know what? The defense still got to go out there and make plays, and they're really shutting down the edge so far today for both teams.
So Coach Paul Cowboy Sharrett sends out his offense. Long-time coach for Loughborough. Lots of success through the years, heavily involved with GB.
It's a lot of beef down on the front line right now for the North.
Angus Cook still in as the motion from a Bansky. This one's not handed off. It's handed off to the running back up the middle, and he's going to get a quick 4 with a flag in as well for good measure.
There is a player holding his head as well, as possibly just in frustration as he pops back up. We'll see what the call is here. Does look to be on the
Personal
south.
foul, face mask. Number 51 defense, 15 yards added on to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
And that number 51 is the same player who was down maybe in frustration. I think he probably knew that he grabbed a bit of the face mask, made a twist right there.
Cedric Akong with the big penalty that's going to take red all the way in to South Territory. North in red, South in blue if you're just joining us in this battle of the best in Bucks football. 3 down linemen against Angus Cook's offense.
3-5 look right there, and they go just out the outside.
They're going to try and bust this one, and it does get a first down. So that's a nice run off the right-hand side for the running back that time. Here's the replay.
That's a great play call there. Defense from the south came out with a bit of a 3-5 look, with the furthest man being very close to the line of scrimmage, and that tight end just ran just outside of him. Great run on first down.
Angus William Alexander Davis, again a Loughborough runner. One of Paul Sharrett's crew making his impact known. And that's going to take him to 1st and 10. This one's up the middle, nothing there this time.
Oh, if you're Angus, you wish there was a read option on that one. You had 3 defenders waiting with bated breath just down the alleyway, and Angus almost handing a hand grenade to his teammate there. He's no choice, really.
2nd and 10 for Angus Cook and this North team. Trying to get a score on the board. Haven't been in the end zone yet. Blue have, but it was taken off the board. Pistol formation this time. 2 receivers top of your screen. Single receiver in motion to the left. Takes the ball, tries to get around the corner, and again, great defense. Going to drive that defender back, ball out, but we think it's blown dead. Wayne Hill excited on the sideline there, but I think that one's going to be blown dead. Nevertheless, it was a fantastic tackle from the defender coming in there, number 22, Alexander Ampleford.
Well, that civil engineering student out of Portsmouth, engineering a great play right there. What pursuit? Almost got the fumble, just on the borderline there. You're not going to get that, but you're still getting a big loss, making it 3rd and 11.
Wayne Hill excited by that call. Wayne Hill, the BAFA president. So this is his one game he's going to coach this year, and he's going to put all his excitement into it.
It seems like it. Why wouldn't you? What a great day to come out.
3rd and 11 after that great defensive run stop. What can Angus Cook? Looks to his left. A Bansky, and that's nearly picked.
Oof, what a tough drop there by Shah. Wall run out of Hertfordshire. Hit him right in the gut. You got to catch that with your hands. Frustration there by the defense. Still a forced punt, though.
Finley Old, actually, who dropped that one.
Oh, I apologize.
4th down. You would expect Blue to punt here. We've seen going for it on 4th down. We've seen one fake punt already. Don't expect it here, though, Sean.
Well, yeah, the South had that one for 1 yard earlier. Jason did go for it on a 4th down, but that was from a lot closer. Interesting to see the different punt strategies here. People on the line versus 1 or 2 men deep. Looks pretty much like a base defense here for the South.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. It is a Bansky with the throw this time, and that is incomplete. So the North are going to turn over on downs as Wayne Hill claps his defense off the field because they hold strong, and it's going to be the South that take over on their 39-yard line.
Yeah, great call by the South there to be in a bit of a base defense. They just sent one safety back.
There's a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain in the half. 2 minutes.
Yeah, if all their men had gone back in regular punt coverage, that would have been quite the dicey play for the South. Instead, a turnover on downs.
Well, they bring a Bansky in, the Leicester Falcons quarterback, playing slot receiver today, and obviously they're bringing him to punt as well. Doesn't fool the South. They get the ball on the 39, 1st and 10. 2 backs in, Ali Shaw still in. This time play fake, goes down the middle, single man, incomplete.
Oh, just out the outstretched hands of, was that number 3?
Granit
Uka out of Kingston. Oh, diving effort there, just could not get it. And 2 defenders, so quarterback got it down just where that player had a chance to make a play, just out his fingers.
Granit plays his senior football in Finland for the Kouvola Indians. So they're going to want to try and get him into this game, as Ali Shaw now on 2nd and 10 goes down the middle again, and it's picked, and it's Granit that has to make the tackle. The interception's made by number 33 for this North team, and that is Jamie Clark, Edinburgh Napier DB.
That's those Edinburgh players getting all the way down there. Jamie making a great play.
Yeah, you see it here on the replay, just goes up the ball a little bit over the head of Granit, and Edinburgh Napier defensive back there to make the play. Pete Laird, the head coach of Edinburgh Napier, will be very happy with that one.
Does a great job high pointing the ball there, and a bit of a momentum shift, getting the ball inside their own territory, approaching the South's side of the field.
So, 5th turnover of the game.
This bunch formation again, not a lot of players on the edge, but one more than last time.
This time play fake, Angus Cook going deep, and he has a man caught at the 15, breaking free, tackled at the 5 is number 87 for Red, and that is Mark Price, a wide receiver from Sheffield, with the big impact play inside a minute to go.
Well, there's something Angus knows about. Talk about some aeronautical engineering, a brilliant pass downfield, and some rumbling, tumbling, tough running there by number 87, Mark Price out of Sheffield, bring it inside the 10.
So all the way down to the 6 is Mark Price, 21-year-old Sheffield player, plays his offensive senior ball for the London Warriors. And he's making an impact here, is the championship member. London
Single
Warrior
high
team.
up top, look at that.
Handoff this time to 27, trying to jump cut into the end zone, but met fiercely by that blue defense.
That's a gutsy move by the South defense there, leaving Mark Price, who just made that big play, not only in single coverage, but I mean, he was isolated on the field by 15 yards. It'd be interesting to see if the North go that way coming up here.
So with time running down, the North trying to get into the end zone now from their 7-yard line after they lost a yard on that one from the run from Davis. Pistol formation. Hand it off again. No, Cook keeps it, looks left. Shovel pass to Price, and he's in for the touchdown. Gutsy play from Angus Cook. Shovels it to Mark Price underneath, and into the end zone. Go the North.
Talk about an all-star play at an all-star game. An underhanded shovel pass by Angus Cook as he's falling to the ground. Initially, probably not the right read to keep the ball there, in my opinion, but obviously made something out of it.
So a touchdown for the North All-Stars. No flags. 6-0 to the North as they come out to see whether they go for 2 or the single pointer.
How fun is it to watch a bit of improvisation there by Angus, really making something out of nothing. And no surprise here, Jason Scott's team coming out with an interesting formation for a point after touchdown.
Yeah, here we go with the swinging gate play. They are going to go to a Bansky, and he is in for 2. So they run the swinging gate, which is his formation where they split the offensive line off.
What a fun play to watch. You get 6 players out to your left, but one man in motion and say, my guy's going to beat your guy, and he trucks him.
Left in regulation.
And he trucks him over there. What a play what a fun way to end that drive where Mark Price gained almost every yard on offense down the field from his quarterback, Angus Cook.
So Bansky with the 2-pointer to rub salt into the wound of this blue team. South did get into the end zone earlier, as we've said, but wiped off the board. And the North with big plays from Price. 60-yard pass, catch and run from Price, and then busts his way into the end zone on the shovel pass from Cook. 8-0 to the North.
No surprise that Price is stepping up in a big game.
Sorry, this is the touchdown again from Angus.
Here we go, falling down barely off the ground, completely airborne as he shovels it to Price, who extends just across that goal line.
Nice camera work there from our crew here onside.
Really good shot.
Kickoff going to be fielded at the 2, looking for space up the middle with speed, still on his feet and now brought down.
You can't help but feel an energy shift inside the stadium. The fans have all perked up a bit. The sidelines seem to have a bit more energy, and obviously the North is buzzing here a bit as they come out on defense.
So I think that's Chad Woolrand on the return, half a cheer, defensive back, brings it up to the 33, so a decent return. See what Wayne Hill can dial up here. If his offensive coordinator, Rob Lowe, who's just stepped down.
Timeout called by North. There are 3 seconds left in regulation.
So 3 seconds left for Rob Lowe and Wayne Hill to work something out. As I was saying, University of Reading head coach Rob Lowe taking the offensive coordinator position today for this South team, stepping down from his current coaching role at Reading. So I'm sure he's enjoying today and he'll want to do something here. What do you see happening here, Sean? 3 seconds. What are you going to do, Coach?
You got 2 options. You got the traditional 4 or 5 verts, or you got a shorter play with some laterals, maybe trying to relive that hook and ladder magic, getting a little backstab at Jason Scott for that famous play from his team from a couple years ago on one of our broadcasts.
Here we go. They're just going to take a knee.
Well, that wasn't what I said at all.
There you go. Did someone not get the memo? It is an all-star game.
I guess not. Yeah, come on. All-star
all
kneeling.
Right, so that is the end of the half. So if you're from North University, you'll be happy to see the score. Jason Scott's North all-star team currently leading the South all-star team 8-0 off the play of Mark Price and the quick thinking of Angus Cook.
A nice half so far, especially by the defense. As you said, we saw that big play by Price, but overall the theme from this half to me is just shutting down that run. We've seen almost nothing wide. Great pursuit by the defense, sideline to sideline, and it's difficult to get the ball moving when you can't run the ball and move it on the ground.
So we're going to take a break for the halftime, and we will be back with some halftime analysis for you very shortly.
Good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're watching this. Hope you have a great day. I hope this podcast has made you smile a little bit. I hope it's given you a bit more insight into what we do and why we do it. But yeah, just keep on listening and thank you.
0-0, and then we entered into this kind of situation where the defences were really stepping up.
Absolutely.
Turnovers all over the field. There was a fourth down. They did convert initially with Angus Cook, but then turnovers, and that was the story of this first quarter, really.
Absolutely, yeah. So a lot of, I think, feeling each other out is the phrase that's used quite a lot. Whilst we would like to see maybe a few more completions through the air, it's quite difficult with the amount of wind we're having at the moment. So more of that in the second half, I believe.
Now, we talked about the fact that these are both defensive coaches. We saw a lot of A-gap blitzes, but we did see some real star playing coming on from Io Oyalola, who's the University of Nottingham standout linebacker, and he really made an impact through his blitzes. Two sacks already.
2 sacks, lots of pressure on the quarterback. I don't know if the South were expecting this much pressure from the North's D-line and linebackers, but they're doing a great job at the moment.
They certainly are. We had decent punts coming in. I mean, what do you do in a punt situation? Because both of those punters that have come in are listed as quarterbacks. You've got the UCLan quarterback, and you've got a Bansky came in and was looking to be the punter for the North. So what is the situation with punt and special teams?
I mean, it's a normal punt. It's definitely supposed to be a normal punt. And I think they're just giving themselves some options, really, at the end of the day. To be able to run that fake like we saw a little bit later on. And put an athlete back there who can make plays as well. So it's making the other team think a little bit about what they're trying to do special teams wise, making sure that they're being respectful of the punter being able to move if he needs to, or be able to throw the ball. So really, really nice to see that from a special teams perspective. As a lover of special teams, I'd like to see more of that, definitely.
Special teams has had an impact. South taking the ball over on the 4-yard line, trying to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost, which they did, went for it on fourth down. But that turnover, that drive rather stalled, handed the ball back to the North, and we've seen some great defense on the edge, but eventually the impact play has come from Mark Price, who you singled out earlier on.
Yeah, absolutely. Big post play over the middle, caught it in stride, made a good run, handed one guy off and got himself down to like the 6-yard line, so put them in great field position, which was fantastic to see.
Yeah, all the way down to the 6-yard line, Mark Price. And then that fantastic touchdown play. It looked like the South had Angus Cook dead to rights in the backfield, but he manages to scramble out of it. And then the underhand shovel pass.
Yeah, I never taught him that. I never taught him that. I think it's just a case of he saw Mark open. He was thinking, can I make a play, or underhand shovel? I spoke to him on the sideline a few plays after that, and he just said, it was designed. So I was like, yeah, I'm sure it was.
I'd have taken full credit for that. It was all me. It was a great play, and that's the sort of play Sean called it in the booth. Actually, that's the sort of play you want to see in an all-star game like this.
Some
just
trickeration,
players.
and I expect to see some trickeration come in the second half.
Some trickeration.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to some more trickeration. We want to bring in Marcus Boswell, who is the liaison officer. So we might go for that if we could get Marcus in here. Joe, could you step away for a second?
Thank you, Joe.
Take care.
Let's bring in Marcus Patches Boswell. It's good to see you, my friend.
Hello, Coach.
Not seen you in a long time. So tell us, what's been happening to you since, obviously, Patches, you play for NTU, play for a long time, one of our standout players, and we miss you still there. But you've gone on to do some great things. So tell us, what's been happening for you? What are you doing now?
So, on a football sense, I decided to retire after the Tampa Phoenix won its first and only, to this date, Brit Bowl, about to say Super Bowl now. And at that point, I thought, what can I do to still maybe give back to the game, which has given me so much, if I don't want to play. So I tried to start coaching, work down at the University of Oxford now, but then I've got a 7-month old baby.
Congratulations.
Ara, she's doing amazing. You'll be down to meet her pretty soon, I think. So at that point, I thought coaching isn't quite what I can do in terms of my time. So I actually volunteer my time now for the national governing body, as BAFA, to help kind of bridge the link and the culture between BAFA and what it has always been, and Bucks as the overarching university sports organisation for the country. And that, to be honest, is going really, really well. 6 or so months in now, and I'm learning an awful lot, as well as hopefully I'm contributing an awful lot back as well. So that's me in a nutshell.
Good
right
stuff.
now,
We've certainly seen some impact. And what do you make of today's game from a Bucks perspective?
Right.
Is this great to have a spectacle like this?
Yeah, fairly jealous that it still wasn't around when I was playing. Obviously, GB students at the time was the pinnacle of what we could do. So the ambition definitely is to get that back, and sooner rather than later, hopefully for Hungary next June. But to be able to play in this for the students, I have no doubt they're absolutely loving every minute. You see so many fans, and there's so many different universities actually represented out here, which is great. You know, all the way down south from London. Seen one of the Edinburgh Napier jerseys as well, which is great. So breadth of the country being covered, everyone having a great time. Such a nice facility, to be fair. The turf looks great. So yeah, I think the guys will absolutely be loving it out there. And that's the main thing, that they're getting an experience maybe that hasn't been around for the past couple of years. So the ambition is to, well, hopefully grow this. Joe and myself will definitely talk after this, after the event itself, once everything's calmed down. What went well, what can we improve upon for next time, and hopefully it becomes definitely an annual thing. Maybe couple that with GB students, and we're on to a winner, really.
Good stuff. And I know you've been sat here watching the game yourself. Who have been the standout players for you so far?
Wow. Well, one of my old quarterbacks, Angus Cook, that piece of intricate play that he was able to still get a touchdown off. Oh, I love that. There's number 52 for the North as well, has been absolutely dominating. Really, really good. Really exciting player. And then there's a couple. I really like the defensive back for number 33 for the South as well, making some plays. I think he got one of the picks. But just there's such a breadth of talent. I'm even watching the guys now just passing the ball around. What I can't wait for is the GB student setup to come back, and seeing that this is kind of the level that hopefully these guys will be playing at.
And what can you tell us about that GB program? Is there something that's in the pipeline there? Obviously, we had the last game I think GB Buck students played was back where you were representing, and Wayne Hill was the head coach. They went out to Sweden and had that big win over the Swedes.
And then Finland was the year after, which I wasn't quite part of that. But obviously the level of talent that was back then was unbelievable. Even coaching staff, lots of those coaches now are still involved in the university game. And out here, possibly today, I think lots of them as well.
Well, Wayne Hill, head coach, so
of course,
he's still around.
And I see Martin Hilton's here, and Paul Sherritt, lots and lots of people. Joe Walker himself. So the hope will be that we do get everything off in time for, in a decent amount of time, to prepare everything for Hungary for next June in the World Championships. We're not quite at the stage of confirming anything. A lot of it has been down to actually getting Pete Ackerley, the new CEO for BAFA, on board. Once he gets his kind of feet under the table, at that point you have a full-time member of staff liaising with full-time members of staff at Bucks, as opposed to what we have, which is the traditional volunteers. Not everything can quite happen at the same pace. So my hope is that something is confirmed sooner rather than later. But we're not quite at the stage to do that yet. But events like today, this specifically as the All-Stars, is definitely kind of the stepping stone to getting that back. And it's such a good event. I'm like I say, quite jealous that I can't get out there and play. But fair play to the guys that are now out there running routes and making tackles. And fair play to American Football America as well, and Joe Walker specifically for revitalising this. It's great.
Well, it's been great to talk to you, Marcus.
You too,
we
Coach.
miss you at NTU, but it's really good to catch up.
We'll be there, 10-year anniversary for NTU this year, right, for the NTU Renegades. So we'll be back doing a big showpiece. Maybe we'll get on-site production down, who knows.
We look forward to that. All right, so we're going to go back to the action. We're coming close to the start of the third quarter for this second half. Currently, it's the North team 8. It's the South team 0. Jason Scott currently winning the battle, these big two, Wayne Hill and Jason Scott. So we'll see what this second half has to offer. But for right now, we'll take a break and we'll catch you back in the booth after this.
Good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're watching this. Hope you have a great day. I hope this podcast has made you smile a little bit. I hope it's given you a bit more insight into what we do and why we do it. But yeah, just keep on listening and thank you.
Welcome back to Butts Arena here in Coventry. Here back in the booth, you see the two teams warming up, getting ready for this third quarter. I'm back with Sean Endicott. It's Carl Walkinshaw and Sean Endicott here bringing you this live stream.
Warming
happy to be here, although it's getting a bit chilly now.
It really has.
We're going to have to snuggle up in a bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's the rain is still coming down. The wind is piercing through. And I think it's probably dropped 2 or 3 degrees throughout the course of the game.
You can see north and south warming up there. Single score from the north, just on that piece of genius, really, from Angus Cook and Mark Price into the end zone. But we've seen some standout defensive play. One of the guys I wanted to point out was Io Oyalola. He's had a great game. Tell us about his impact in the first half.
Well, he's had multiple sacks there in the first half, and he's just done a great job getting penetration, whether it's up the middle or from the side on the backside of these runs. He's just really shut it down. One of the things that's been most impressive about him is just, if you're the quarterback or any offense coordinator, if you have to say, where is this player every single play, that player's having a good game, and that's exactly what Ayo's doing right now. I think he's had a tremendous outing so far, and it's no surprise that with him leading the charge on defense, they haven't allowed a single point yet.
And for South, Chad Allwarn's got one interception himself already, the Hertfordshire defensive back. And they've played well in the middle of the field, haven't they, this Hertfordshire South team?
Well, I think the South team in general has done a really good job of shutting down just the run game, especially on the outside. They get from sideline to sideline quickly. They haven't allowed too much up the middle. They've really only allowed, I'd say, one big play, I guess, in terms of yardage gain, and that was that Marcus Price catch. And then obviously the touchdown itself, which was not even exactly poorly defended. It was, they read the read option correctly, in my opinion. They stuck with the quarterback. They got their hands on him. But Angus just made an absolutely brilliant play. I believe he was completely off the ground, horizontal, as he underhanded it to Marcus Price. And if you're a defender, you almost just have to put your hands up in the air and say, well done. Because what are you going to do against that?
Yeah, Mark Price really been the standout. You would expect that playing his football during the summer in Finland. He's clearly a standout player for London Warriors. Came and was involved with that London Warriors team as they get that 5th win in 10 years. 6th win in 10 years, actually. What a legacy they've got, London Warriors. Mark Price involved in that. But standout player today.
Now, you yourself have said, Carl, to me, when you have players like that, it makes all coaches look good. So it's a big play by him, and we'll see if they can step it up here in the second half on this now dreary Coventry day.
Yeah, it's cold, it's wet, but the teams do look great, don't they, in those Football America UK kits?
They do. I think they're beautiful. You get that really classic Pro Bowl vibe with that red versus blue. And also, I wonder, do you think in the second half here the South's going to feel more at home with all this rain, or maybe some players from up north in York or Edinburgh?
I don't know who's better suited to the weather. It's a good question there.
If you ask the South team, they're all from the north, though.
Absolutely.
We're in the north right now, according to the players I spoke to in the pregame.
Yeah, it's a home game for the north. So we're getting ready now for the referees to get this one underway. Q3 coming up for you in this all-star game. And it's a nice way, as Joe Walker and Marcus Boswell were saying in the halftime analysis, nice way to start the Bucks season, to get it off to a good start in this way. Bucks football coming up over the next few weeks. All those teams back now. They'll be going in their fresh affairs recruitment phase.
Well,
and that's an exciting time for the teams as they try and scout for that new talent.
Exactly, and this is a great time for anyone who's just mildly interested in the game. So many of the players that you're looking at right now did not play American football until university. And I didn't play until university, and I was in my mid-20s when I started. That's not rare in this game. Obviously, some of these guys have been playing for eternity. We got someone who's played 13 years. But a lot of these guys, you look 1-2 seasons, they pick up the game. Maybe they came from rugby, they came from football, they came from, any other sport or no sport whatsoever. They come in and they see a game on, either here on Onside Productions or one of these NFL London games or their friend plays. You come out here and you have this great atmosphere. You have hundreds of people in the stands playing on this game streamed out to all your friends.
Our referee crew today is Brian Yates, Victor Janvari, Roger Goodgroves, who's joined us in the booth for Britball 33. Jed Brooks Lewis is the line judge. The back judge is Ewan Patterson. Phil Humes, your field judge. Peter Parsons, side judge. And Stuart Young, centre judge. As we get this one, Q3 of this Football America UK Bucks All-Star game underway. Q3 underway, and this one is going to be fielded at the 12-yard line. That's room to the right-hand side there for the North returner, who is Adam Bamba, and he's going to take the ball out to the 25.
At the fear of sounding too effusive in my praise, Ayo's even bringing it on special teams. What a block on the edge there, just at the bottom of your screen. What a great play. Great energy. A lot of these people might take a play or two off, say, oh, this is an all-star game. Nothing from that coming from Ayo in this squad.
So the North will start with the ball after Blue won the toss at the early part of this game, Q1, and took the ball themselves, had a touchdown wiped off the board, so the North will get the ball to start. They have a new QB in. We've seen him on punt duties, and that is Joshua Mills, who's come in, and he will bobble the snap, tries now to make something of it, and does get the ball out to his receiver, Bamba. But number 33, who we mentioned just there in our analysis, quickly there to make the tackle. That's Chad Woolron coming in quickly for no gain.
Not how you want to start there. A little bit of jitters, bobbling the ball, and then a loss of a yard on a pass. But a lot of football left to go here. Got the entire second half, and it's a one-score game. So it's good to see them change up the quarterback here. I think for an all-star game, you want to give that all-star experience to as many players as you can.
Bamba plays his senior football with the Manchester Titans, who we know are a great program in Premier North. So he's got some pedigree as they go this time from pistol with a Bansky, the slot receiver, to the two receivers at the bottom of your screen, one to the top. This time, quarterback takes a look and is complete. And that is to Bamba, who's struggling to see whether he can get the first down. Offensive lineman comes in to help him along, and it looks like that's going to be close.
That's a great job by the receiver getting his hand. The ball was behind him, but he hauled it in there, and you got to love that big number 79, Lewis Thomas, trying to finish up that play, driving his friend forward there. So it's now only third and about 2.
So Paul Sharrett calling the plays, the offensive coordinator for the North, as Joshua Mills comes in with the play call. Shotgun again, 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 running back in pistol formation, 1 tight end to the left-hand side. They hand this one off and met immediately downhill. Great tackle from number 54 of that South defense. Joseph Chung called his name a number of times in the first half, and him in with the tackle on second down brings up fourth now and 5.
Great penetration and a great heads-up tackle. You see there, see the person that you're hitting. He followed through there with some double uppercuts. Great tackle, and you see him adjusting his helmet after it gets knocked around a bit on that sound tackle.
No chance for any gain there for the running back. Barely got the ball handed off before he was met by Chung. So it's 4th down.
South with 1 man back to the right of your screen.
Quarterback stays in, drops the snap on this punt, now under pressure, and down he goes. Pressure too great from the North, from the South rather, and that means they're going to have fantastic field position to start their comeback. They are 8-0 down, the South, but they now have the ball to start this third quarter at the North 24-yard line.
That's a good job by Edward One-Made to make that tackle. It was a bobbled snap, and the punter looked like he could have maybe gotten it off if someone didn't pursue him so aggressively, followed through on the play, and One-Made managed to bring him down.
See Jason Scott there on the sideline, just deciding what he's going to do here defensively, making some notes there with his defensive coordinator. as we have a new quarterback for the South in as well. 2 receivers, top of your screen. This time it's handed off up the middle, decent hole and good yardage gain on first down for the running back Christopher Robson Close from Exeter University. First down yards.
Grind it out there straight through the hole on the left side of the line, and a really good job to make this 2nd and short. Wouldn't be surprised to see a shot into the end zone here since it's only 2nd and about 3.
Lewis Culver now, number 7, the Hertfordshire, University of Hertfordshire finalist, appears this time, hands the ball off this time again to Robson Close, who breaks it very close to the goal line. Will he get in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, South. South All-Stars busted in. Second play after that blocked, well, not blocked, but sacked. Punter got sacked, great field position, and in goes South All-Stars to hopefully tie this game up, but they will have to go for 2, Sean.
Talk about yards after catch, or yards after contact. Just driving with those knees. He got hit at about the 6-yard line, managed to get himself in there. A little bit of help from some teammates to drive him in, and it doesn't look like they're going to go for 2 here. They're setting up for a field goal. I suppose you could fake it, but it looks like they're just going to kick it in here, bring it into a 1-point game.
So let's see as the kicker, Al-Nusha Fulford, comes out. Angular Ruskin player. Good snap, good hold, but it's blocked. Will it sneak across? No. Down in the end zone. And a diving play there from the kicker himself, Fulford.
A little bit of a free willy jump there by number 2. Trying to get that ball after it was dipped. See this at the end of the play.
This is the touchdown.
There you go with that drive. Look, you just drive those legs. Drive, and his teammates all helping him out just a little bit. Getting excited there.
So the South back in this game, 8-6. 10 years ago, the score was 9-8 to the North. We've now got, at the beginning of Q3, a more competitive game, 8-6, as the South get on the board. Just 2 points in it. Interesting call there from Wayne Hill not to go for the 2 there, Sean.
I'm not sure if he just wanted to get some extra points, so a field goal gave you a little bit more distance. I mean, field goal still going to win you the game here, so maybe that's how he felt. I'm not sure exactly what's in their play sheet. Again, with these slimmed-down playbooks, you don't know what they had for that situation.
Hashtag FAUK All-Stars. Hashtag FAUK All-Stars.
Make sure to spell that right.
Get involved with the show. FAUK All-Stars. We'd be great to hear from you if you're watching this game. Are you supporting the South or the North? Depends where you're from, I guess. It depends which team your teammates are playing for.
Also, why don't you tweet in and share where you think the line is between the South and the North? Because we've had that debate today so far already.
Kickoff, South. And they're going to get this one returned. It's a nice high kick. It is going to be picked up with
nice block
down the left-hand sideline. But that's a nice tackle there from number 17 on the blue team, which is Kyoto Dennis coming in and making a tackle. Here's the return.
Oh, I got so excited there, Carl. I cut you off, but if you just watch this block by Mark Price right there, clearing out that edge, and then the returner just getting a few extra yards off of that. You got to love when players put their body on the line, help their teammates out.
So that's Price, the superstar of the London Warriors, and that Finland team plays his summer ball out in Finland, but it's Bamba on the return, takes the ball all the way up to the 31-yard line, which is where the North will take over. And it is Joshua Mills now taking the snap. This one will be handed over on the end around. Dodges Percy's first man, finds a little bit of an edge and picks up 2 yards. It does Jeffrey Adasuka Ampong. Plays his senior football with Tamworth Phoenix, where he's also plays for Loughborough.
Great job there again by that outside edge defense. The receiver was significantly faster than a few of the players on that because he had that running start in motion, but they were just in position and managed to shut him down for a short gain.
So second down and 8 now for the North, trying to get into this third quarter after the score from the South All-Stars through the running of Robson Close. 8-6 the score if you just joined us.
Center counting up the men there because you can see 5 on the line for the South.
Joshua Mills takes a snap, not much time, but steps up nicely into the pocket, but incomplete.
That's the right read, but not the right execution there. Quarterback stepped up in the pocket. They all kind of flushed outside of him. He had some room to step up, just couldn't quite get the connection there.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end, George Henry Cox. but nothing doing on second down, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for this North team. The weather significantly worse than it was in the first half now.
Yeah, it's actually pretty hard to see that on the broadcast, but we can testify at one point it was raining so hard. We are in the back row of this stadium, and the water was still hitting us. That's how hard it was blowing while it was raining. It's 20, 30 yards worth of movement from the lip of this stadium, so it's quite severe.
3rd down then. Mills takes the ball, looks to his left-hand side. He's going to loft one up, dangerously incomplete, but it looks like they're going to be caught for a roughing the passer call. 2 flags down in the backfield where Joshua Mills went down.
Joshua Mills putting his receiver at risk there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 90, defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Wow, so an uncharacteristic mistake by the South defense. That's a big one, 15 yards and a first down to keep this drive alive for this North All-Stars team, Sean.
Yeah, he initially had good pass protection there, and I think just the defender maybe at the end just wanted to finish that play a bit too much. Got to protect players. Obviously, when you're throwing that ball, you get into some pretty vulnerable situations.
So Joshua Mills with a new set of down then, the U-Clan quarterback, looks to his right-hand side, got a man close to the sideline, caught!
That's going to be out of bounds.
That's going to be out. So just could not keep his feet in bounds. Could Natal Malero, the standout wide receiver for Nottingham Trent University, someone I know very well, and good to see him trying to make an impact in this game.
You could see that. Natal, he's played his ball overseas in a couple different spots in Europe over the last couple of years, and as soon as he came in the slot, you could kind of tell he emphatically pointed to the ref. He said, "I am here. Have I spotted myself correctly? I'm ready to go." But he could not haul that in inside.
Obviously
the
well coached.
paint.
Trips to the bottom of the screen. Joshua Mills now under all sorts of pressure, manages to squirm away, puts one up. 2 defenders batted and caught by the South. And it's Jeffrey Adesei-Ompong making a fantastic catch going to ground under all sorts of pressure.
I'm afraid that's going to be all for naught, Carl.
Flag down.
There's all sorts of flags. This hold looks like these refs. That's a shame. What a catch.
Well, you wanted some all-star football. That's what we're getting here. But this one looks like Brian Yates is going to have give us a call on that.
2 fouls on the play, both for holding. Number 4 and number 62. The penalty against number 62 will be declined. 4 holding, 10 yards previous spot, second down.
So it's a hold, which is going to wipe off a spectacular catch by Ampong. Sam Hyde holding on that. Not Sam Hyde.
What a catch by Ampong there. That's a real shame. He'd get that off the deflection and on his back when he makes that grab.
Tom Moore, I believe, being called on the hold. It's going to bring up, rather than a first down after a beautiful catch, going to bring up a 2nd and 20.
That's a shame there, but it's not rare when a quarterback rolls out of the pocket to see a holding.
Mills, low snap, looks to his left, tries to get the screen over, tipped, and now dropped. So the defense do enough for that big defensive line. I believe it was number 59 who got his hands on the ball. Let's have a look at the replay here.
Here, Robert Wands just cannot get that catch. It hits him in both hands. That was the right call. Had some lead blockers on a 2nd down and long. You probably could have got close to where you started on the sticks. Just couldn't haul it in. He was also facing a bit upfield, so I think there might have been that tip, like you said, by that D-line, kind of made the receiver have to adjust to that ball.
Definitely a tip by Rodon Zakiri on that one. He plays his defensive line for Brunel. Big, tall defensive lineman got in the face of the quarterback, did enough to disrupt that one. Pistol formation now, 3rd and long.
I'd look at Natal's way right here. That's what I'm expecting.
Trips bottom. Natal now looking to get deep, but Mills goes to the other side this time to a receiver out there in the flat. Picks up 10. It's going to bring up 4th and 10, and that one was complete to his receiver, Tom Moore.
No, I was hoping they'd go for it here. I'd love to see another try on offense.
Here's the replay. Looks to Natal initially, but then comes back
couldn't
to his
find
left.
It there. Just kind of get it underneath on a short crossing route, get you back to the original sticks. And they have trotted out the punt team there.
So they're very close to midfield, are the North team, but they are going to punt. At least we think they are. We've already seen one fake punt. Direct snap to the up back that got what they needed, but this one's a lot longer. They need 11 here.
We've seen a tackle for loss on a punt as well, so we'll see if they can get this off cleanly.
Snap's okay. Ball goes up. It has to be pulled back, so it's a high one, and it's out of bounds.
Oh, and Jason Scott dropped it.
Yeah,
Can we get... Hold on. Let's talk to our producer. Can we please get a replay of Jason Scott dropping that punt? Got to save that one for the highlight reel.
Jason will be kicking himself. He even tried to attempt to catch it.
I mean, he caught it with his hands instead of his body and everything. Just couldn't line it up.
So after that kick out of bounds, it's going to give the South the ball at the 31-yard line to start their drive. They've scored already in this third quarter. They're going to want to do it again as this Hertfordshire backfield now. Quarterback goes out to his right-hand side. Receiver tries to cut back inside and does so. Picks up nice yardage off the wide receiver screen.
There's some burners there on number 14 for the South. That is Timi Oyalaje. He's from Hertfordshire. And that pass was almost back enough that you can do a double pass. So I wonder if the South has implemented that in their playbook.
Oh. And that's going absolutely nowhere as quarterback goes down after that pressure from the North. So Christopher Robson-Close, sorry, Lewis Culver there. No, it is Christopher Robson-Close in taking direct snaps here.
This quarter, the plays are going through quick, but the clock's not going through that quickly because all these incomplete passes. We've had some runs, but a lot more passing in this quarter, in my opinion.
New formation for this 3rd and 7 as Culver takes the shotgun snap, looks to his right-hand side, going deep with a man wide open, caught at the 36-yard line with a great reception and a first down is the receiver there, number 14, Timi Oyalaja. Plays his University of Hertfordshire and for the London Blitz.
You can see here just a nice high pass and some great separation by Timmy there. Making a good adjustment, reaching to the outside, going just outside of his right shoulder, so he turned around to grab that ball, managed to get his feet inbounds.
Big play, Culver to Oyalaja, as this time it's a handoff to Robson Close up the middle, and he's busting one as he makes his way right-hand side to the 30. Tries to get inside the 10 and does, down to the 5 and bumped out of bounds there. What a run by Robson Close.
Well, that's one way to take out a defender. Watch here. Big AO goes for the quarterback on the keep. They instead go on the dive up the middle and some great cutting around outside. You want to take out the best defender, you make him respect that quarterback run. That gives you that numbers advantage. And number 6 there, Christopher Robson-Close, managing to make that big play.
Robson Close, of course, scored the touchdown for this South team to bring them back into this game. So he's made an impact. Plays his university ball at Exeter. We have a North player down on the sideline that we'll get physios over to have a look at. So Robson Close with 1 touchdown, looking to get another, but he looks hungry to show his form in this game, Sean. And that's what this game's all about, isn't it? It's about showcasing talent.
Yeah, you want to show the best that Britball has to offer. And a run like that with a nice play design there from the South is exactly what you want to see. Really impressive stuff. You'll notice it. Go ahead, Carl.
Good to see Mofi Jayebo on his feet and runs back to the sideline. So nothing serious for Mofi. As Blue, this South team, now driving again. Driving now for the lead from the 11-yard line. They can get a first down without a touchdown. 2 backs in the backfield. Culver takes the snap, hands this one off. Robson Close again. This time he's met by a horde of red jerseys. And that goes down to ground.
Bit of a rugby scrum and probably about 2,000 pounds worth of weight going into that pile. You can't see this off the bottom of your screen, but I think it's probably worth highlighting that Angus Cook is warming up on the sidelines again.
Yes, indeed. If the North go down, they may want to bring Angus Cook back in. At the moment, it's the Hertfordshire quarterback that's having success. Lewis Culver already scored 1 touchdown. Hands off again. Robson Close, nice and patient following his blocks. Picks up about 4 yards there. So again, it's going to bring up 3rd and 4. So they can get a touchdown, first down, without getting a touchdown.
And here he is. Close. He's following his blocker there. That is Lawrence Cornwall Baptiste yet again. He almost puts his hand on his offensive lineman and just rides him in for as many yards as he can get. That's some great patience there by that running back.
3rd and about 3.5 to get the first down. If they want the touchdown, they're going to need 5.
I'm going by Baptiste again, if you're going on the ground.
Culver this time holds it down and rolls to his right. Man open in the end zone, caught but not in the end zone and out of bounds at the 2. Could be a first down. We'll wait for the sticks.
You look like you got the first down, but not quite the touchdown, which is probably good enough in their opinion there.
Here's the replay.
And here he is rolling out to his right. Defender trying to get his hands up. Wide open there, just leaking out into the flat. Nice high ball there, getting it there for the easy catch. And that's yet another catch by Timmy.
Yeah, Oyalaja.
Timmy
well
Oyalaja.
there, and they are not going to give the first down, so they're showing 4th down.
And what? Half an inch?
But the chains are not up, so I wonder where now they're picking the chains up. So it is 4th down, a half a yard needed. Robson close, tries to get it, and will wait for the call, but it does not look like he got it. It looks like the North stood firm, and indeed they did. So it's a turnover on downs. So the South come close, but the North deny them any score.
And that's a great push up the middle by the defensive line. Running back getting hit before he could even get past it.
And it's that man again, Oyalola, who's just been devastating on defense for this North team. 2 sacks and that key tackle for a loss on 4th down.
And he's probably celebrating because he was chasing the quarterback on that big run up the middle earlier on the drive, but he shuts down that drive there to get the ball back to his offense.
So the North hold. They defend their lead tenaciously close to their own goal line, and they take the ball underneath their own goalposts as Mills rolls out in the end zone, tries to get rid of it, and I believe that's going to be a safety. Waiting for the call now. Did he get rid of the ball, Sean?
I mean, he did fling the ball out. I couldn't see his knee from here. He was out of the pocket, so grounding's not part of it because it passed the line of scrimmage. But they're going to have to determine if his momentum was stopped.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The passer was outside of the pocket and the forward pass went beyond the line of scrimmage. No foul, 2nd down.
Yeah,
Wow.
just as we said there. Let's see him rolling out here. Rolling out to his left. He has the pressure there with the hands up from the defenders. He's engaged. He's falling back, and that's close.
Wow.
I think he did get it out before his rear end touched the ground, but that's pretty close to a safety.
It looked to me like he was dragged out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he was pretty close to that as well.
Nevertheless, still under all sorts of pressure from this South defense as Wayne Hill dials up the pressure.
I'd keep that pressure up.
Trying to get out of the end zone again and just about managing to do so. It's big 59 on the tackle there.
Now, if our cameraman could cut over to Wayne Hill on the sideline, he is livid with some sort of call. I'm not sure, but there was a flag thrown immediately, and he's almost throwing things on the sideline, walking onto the field right now.
Well, Wayne probably wanted a timeout in order to speak to the referee about that call.
On the South sideline, there is no penalty yardage enforced. However, that is their first warning.
So, yeah, Wayne Hill, you're quite right, Sean, livid about the fact that they didn't call that a safety, I would imagine. It's the only thing I can think that he would be so angry about.
I don't think we have a replay official today, so it's not like we could do anything about it.
Back to the main action after that. South, to compound their problems, got called for
no
12 men
yards
on the
lost.
field, but no yards lost, as you say. Still under the shadow of their own goalpost. Mills trying to get out of his own end zone, goes deep downfield, defended well and picked. That'll be an interception. That'll be an interception to the South. So that'll cheer up Wayne Hill as Tom Seeger picks that one off, the Exeter defensive back. Here's the replay.
What a great play here by the defense. The ball's just a bit too high. The receiver had a step, threw it short, and the defender high points the ball there. That's a great job to bring that down and get a bit of a momentum shift. It's not quite a safety, but it does get you the ball inside the 40.
So a great pick there. Ampong was the receiver, number 6 for North.
We've seen that a bit today with these high passes. They seem to be just kind of slinging them up there, just a bit too much of an arc. Got to bring that down lower, giving way too much time for the defenders to make a play on the ball.
So again, the South take over with good field position inside the North half as it's Culver this time looking to his left. 17 is out there, works his way back to the football, and that whistle was blown. So I think he caught it and was out of bounds.
Yeah, we're going to have to see a replay on this to see if you only need 1 foot in here, and I think that's just about all he got. He made a great catch, made a brilliant adjustment to the ball. Let's take a look here. So Culver drops back to pass, looking out to his left, throws it again. It's a bit high, but the receiver kind of bodies his way through, manages to make one catch, gets 1 foot, 2 feet.
Inbounds. The whistle blew the play dead.
Yeah,
His feet did not go out of bounds.
I completely agree with you, Carl. I think that should have been a touchdown.
That's Coyote Dennis, number 17 for Blue.
And is that Culver that's down on his knees there at the 40-yard line, just where he made the pass?
You're quite right, Sean. Here's that play again. Let's watch those quick feet
So he's
of Dennis here.
1, 2, certainly a catch. Rotates in. That foot was inbound. That's a touchdown. That's a broken tackle and a touchdown. Just a missed call there.
That is a great play by Coyote Dennis, who plays for Angular Ruskin.
And a great name. I mean, Coyote Dennis.
And,
you want the go-ahead touchdown to go to a guy with a name like that.
Indeed you do. Studies BSc Computer Science, and there'll be lots of teams looking at him saying, hang on, he looks decent. He has no senior team currently this time.
Oh,
quarterback under pressure, and it's Ayayola again. Ayayola with the sack. That's his third of the day as he comes busting in, as Alistair Shaw having to come back into the game due to the injury to Culver.
Offside, number 83, defence, half distance to the goal. It remains first and goal.
So that'll be wiped off the board. No wonder he got there so quick. He was offside.
Well, I don't think it was Io that was offsides. I think it was 83 that they said was offsides. But I'm not. I could have been multiple guys. I'd have to see the replay. I will say this: it is fun to see these teams get so heated. They kind of came in a bit relaxed, like, oh, it's an all-star game. Let's have fun. Now they're here to win.
Ali Shaw back in at quarterback due to the injury to Culver. What can he do as he hands this one off left-hand side? Touchdown! And that is Daniel Odoy Asari, who gets in for the touchdown for the South. And they do take the lead under constant pressure, have the North been, and they can't hold Asari out.
That's a great counter run there. Just a little bit of a jab step across to the right, drawing the defenders a bit, and then bursting that hole open on the left side of the field. That's a great little play design there. Seeing the end of that play as he gets that extension and manages to go through.
So the injury to Culver, Ali Shaw comes back in, hands off to his running back Daniel Odoyasari, who plays for Greenwich, University of Greenwich, the running back. Also plays for the Kent Exiles. And he comes in and makes a big impact to give the South the lead. Score now 12-8.
Looks like they're going to go for 2 to try to make this a 6-point game.
3 backs in the backfield. Handoff is to Robson Close, and he cannot get in.
Cannot get it there. You had an initial block, but some really good pursuit to close up that hole. Those defensive coordinators, cloudy or clear? Well, they saw the clear, and they made sure it turned into some clouds. That's some great defense there to shut that down, keep this a 4-point game. But again, that's more than a field goal, so it's still a touchdown. Get you the lead if you're the North.
12-8, the South lead after the North took that lead, their own leads, towards the end of that first half through the acrobatics of Price and Angus Cook. But the South have come back into it with 2 unanswered scores of their own. Robson Close with a score and Odoy Asari, both on the ground, 12-8.
And now that seems to be the end of the quarter as they are flipping the field here going into the fourth with this tight game.
So it seemed to me like the North were just camped in their own half for most of that quarter.
I feel like we watched the South score 3 times in the last minute, but only one of them counted.
And of course, it's close to safety as well. So the South bringing all sorts of pressure from their defense and from their offense in Q3. Wayne Hill will be happy with that overall performance, although he was furious on the sideline, wasn't he, when that safety wasn't called, Sean?
Well, I think he'll take the 6 points.
Absolutely. All right, so can the North come back into this one? Only a 4-point deficit. Jason Scott said before the game that he's going to have some tricks and some surprises up his sleeve. Well, now's the time to do it, coach, but he's going to need the ball in order to make something happen. 2 receivers back as we get ready for this kickoff to begin Q4.
Let's see if they kick it deep or try to make a short return with some sort of pooch.
So it is kicked deep, Sean. This one's going to be picked up by number 1, but handed off. No, it is number 1. We're keeping the ball, trying to get round, and that's a great special teams play by Matthew Lake coming in. Plays offensive football, but came in and made a great tackle there. Sorry, Samuel Fraser it is. Brunel defensive back coming in and making that tackle.
And that is an example of what you said right now. Jason Scott breaking out some tricks, does a little bit of a fake handoff on the kickoff, but great discipline by the South to stay in their lanes on a kickoff coverage and make sure to make that tackle.
Yeah, it was Bamber and Price back there. Both can run in the open field. Bamber keeps the ball, but Fraser equal to it. So the North are going to start out with pretty poor field position to start their drive on their own 11-yard line. Rain continues to come down here, Sean. Will this impact this North offense?
Absolutely. We've seen these deep passes struggle a bit, people throwing it a bit high and far, and I think that that's going to make a big impact if you're trying to go deep here.
Pistol formation. Threatening blitz, and they do come up on the blitz, and there's nowhere for the running back to go.
Lucky to get a half a yard there, managed to fall forward and twist his way to get just past the line of scrimmage.
Angus William Alexander Davis, Loughborough University running back, just half a yard on first down, brings up 2nd and long. Again, they've had poor field position all the way through Q3. They're going to want to get out of their own half on this drive at least.
Well, particularly with the way punting is going today, with you have tackles for loss on punt for turnovers, bobbled snaps, short punts of 10 to 15 yards. You want to get the offense to move the ball down the field, not rely on that punting game right now.
Joshua Mills, the UClan quarterback, taking the snap on 2nd and long, rolls to his right, now under pressure, ducks back inside, across his body and incomplete. Trying to get the ball there to George Henry Cox, his tight end, but no joy.
George just could not quite get the ball there. The quarterback had to throw it across his body, running away from the defense, managed to push it close to the receiver, but just couldn't get it quite on the money. That leaves a long 3rd down here for this North, deep in their own territory.
What can Mills do on 3rd down? We've got a tight end to the right and 2 receivers, including Natal Malero in the slot position. Looks towards Malero, now has to run himself, still has time.
He does chuck it towards Malero.
Up, and it is going to be Malero cutting back with a catch. Natal Malero, the anti-U standout, does that so well. I've seen it so many times over the years, Sean, haven't we? With Natal managing to find his way back to the ball. He is a ball magnet, that kid.
Full disclosure, I've both played and coached Natal, or I've coached a team with Natal, and I've played with Natal before. And as you said, I've seen that many a time. And what a great job by the quarterback there, rolling out, extending the play, and then just heaving it down where the receiver can make a play.
Natal returning to NTU this season. Will be back in the blue and pink. And we look forward to having him back with a nice catch to keep this drive alive. Brings the ball up to the 45-yard line. This time it's an end around to Natal, and he is swallowed, absolutely swamped that time by big 59, Rodon Zakiri.
Well, I think they checked Natal that play. They said he's not going to do that again. So as soon as he started moving, here we say in the replay here, Natal goes into just after the snap starts running here, a bit of an early snap, pre-snap motion, gets that handoff, and you just couldn't seal the edge there. Outside runs like that, a little bit of an end around or a jet sweep, you have to get that outside shoulder to the defender. DN did a great job getting upfield to make that play.
Great play by Zakiri. He brings up 2nd and 16 now for Mills. This time he's going to hand it off, and smashed in the backfield immediately as this South team step up yet again. That's number 98, I believe. Number 95 maybe, Giovanni Edwards on the tackle there.
If you're one of the running backs from North, you got to feel like you're running into a wall. Look at that penetration. Defensive linemen, 2 or 3 of them, getting past the offensive line before the ball's even handed off. I mean, what are you supposed to do if you're a running back there?
It's Emmanuel Fiabunmi, apologies there, number 90, that makes the great tackle, the Portsmouth defensive lineman, with the dominant play to bring up 3rd and 20 for Mills. Single back in.
There's the hard count.
Yeah, the hard count, but who moved? It looked like the offensive player did as well, but I think that's probably going to be called on Zakiri for offside. But we'll check in with Brian Yates and his crew.
All these bang calls like that. Was he drawn off? Did he move off? O-lineman, if they breathe too much, it's a flag.
Let's see what Brian says.
Dead ball, offside, number 59, causing an offensive lineman to react. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
So it is Zakiri who's offside, causing an offensive player to move. So that'll creep them a little bit closer on this third down play, but it's still 3rd and long, 3rd and 15, 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. 1 back in the backfield as Mills takes the snap, looks to his left. Lots of time this time, scampering around and finally does put the ball up. Has a man, incomplete. So 2 defenders back there at the 20-yard line of this South team, but well defended, no chance for the completion.
And you have 2 flags there near the line of scrimmage. You have to wonder with that much time if there were some holding calls, but the refs seem to be, let's see which way they're pointing here.
Here comes Brian Yates with the call again.
Holding. Number 79 on the offense. That penalty will be declined. 4th down.
That's not a shock. It felt like he had about 7 or 8 seconds in the pocket there. You wonder if someone got a little bit of extra cloth to make sure that happened.
Lewis Thomas doing everything he can to protect his quarterback, including an illegal hold. Nevertheless, the penalty's declined because it brings up a 4th and long. They don't want to give the North an opportunity to stay on the field, so they're going to punt this one away, you would expect, Sean, with the South still holding on to that 4-point lead. At least the North got closer towards the South half during that sequence of plays.
Carl, this is a bit of an unorthodox punt formation, isn't it? They only have 2 men to the left of the ball.
Granit Uka back to return. Now the flag comes in.
Might be a delay of game.
I wonder whether that is a penalty that's deliberate for the
Sideline warning against the North. There are no yardage penalty enforced. It is their first sideline warning.
So a no yardage penalty there.
That's another sideline warning. Now we've got 1 on each side.
Both Jason Scott, I don't know whether it is Jason and Wayne getting excited.
I think we should just have them maybe do some Oklahomas at the end of the game.
A good way to end it, wouldn't it? Let's settle this once and for all. So that was Lewis Freeman anyway, back to punt this one. And we've got Granit Uka back to receive the punt. Punt goes up, good kick, nice high kick. Granit,
that's by
doesn't
far
field it. Great bounce. It's going to roll and roll and roll, and that is a spectacular punt of about 70 yards all the way down to the blue 2.
That's by far the best punt of the day and the best special teams play that we've seen today. Friendly bounce, and you could hear that thud right on the boot. Seemed to hit that sweet spot just there to make that boom a bit down the field.
So Lewis Freeman, who's a linebacker for Loughborough, who's doing a master's in chemistry.
Carl, did I not say we'd see some all-star punting today?
You did.
Well, there you go.
You are right.
70 yards down the field.
If you've come for punts, you've not been denied. All right, so good to see that Lewis Culver is back in after that injury. He's under the shadow of his goalpost going over the middle, and that one's incomplete. Dangerous pass there. Was trying to get the ball to his receiver, Timmy Oyalaja, but incomplete on 1st down.
Him and Oyalaja don't seem to have the chemistry on that particular play. I think Oyalaja got past the defender. If he had thrown it deep, he could have at least given him a chance, but instead threw it low and a bit short.
So field position was really the story of the 3rd quarter, as this run is going to be snuffed out quickly for no gain. So they're still going to be very close to their own end zone. Now going to push it at least out to the 4-yard line for this 3rd and about 8.
Well, let's see how much pressure they bring. We saw the South take a pretty aggressive tactic here. And we'll watch on this replay a great tackle there, bringing him down at that 4-yard line. Some great pursuit by the defense there.
3rd down, here we go. Then this one is going to be handed off to Robson Close, who does find a lane, and then he's met by a swarm of red jerseys. I think the first man there was number 53, who was Jordan Smith.
That's a great tackle there. You had some momentum going for the quarterback, or the running back, and he managed to stop that momentum. I think if he had fallen forward, would have been a 1st down. Just couldn't get it.
4th down and 2 then. And the Blue are going to want to get out of their own red zone, out of their own 20-yard line. And they're going to have to punt this one away from the 10-yard line.
And again, we've seen quite a bit happening in the punt game so far. Slippery snaps, tackles for losses, bobbled snaps.
Anusha Fulford back to, going to be the punter on this one. Always dangerous to snap into your end zone. Decent snap, Fulford takes it, and it's a good high kick that's going to go all the way to the 48, where he's met immediately, and a flag goes in. So Price tackled straight away by Freeman, I believe it was. Sorry, it's number 24, Samuel Fraser, on the hit.
I'm not sure they're going to be happy with that flag if you're the South. You probably think he didn't fair catch it. He went to run it. I gave him a big hit. Let's see what the refs say. Looks like they're debating on if that was indeed an illegal hit.
Kick catch interference. Number 24. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So maybe we didn't see the signal, but they're saying that Price fair caught this. Let's look at the replay. We've got good camera work. Does he get his hand up?
That ain't a fair catch.
I don't see a hand go up.
I think they're just saying he came in too quickly.
Unless it was filmed before. Sorry, unless it took place before our cameraman was on it.
I don't think he fair caught it. I think they're saying they didn't give him enough room to adequately catch it.
Okay. All right.
Oh, you should have snapped it there.
Now then.
Probably a defense there by the South.
Now going to take a timeout to deal with this issue. They've got personnel issue.
Player sprinting onto the field there. Must have been short.
Here's Brian Yates to help us out.
Timeout defense. South, 6:53 left in regulation.
So before Mills could snap that one and get the penalty, Sean, Wayne Hill says, quick, timeout. Let's get these personnel issues sorted out. Maybe that will come back to haunt them later on if they need those timeouts back. Score very close here. We're into the fourth. It's 12-8 to the South. Pride is on the line. All of these players playing their hearts out. As the North come out with good field position now after that punt and then penalty, it means that the North have good field position at 35 of the South, and they're going to want to make an impact here. Price to the bottom of your screen. Still Mills in at quarterback in this fourth quarter. Takes the snap. Play action. Goes to his right-hand side. Nice pass, but the receiver saw it late, and it was well defended anyway. So Barber couldn't hold on. Couldn't get his hands on that one.
A little bit of bodies bumping there, but I think the ball and the receiver just weren't lined up there on that play. It's just going to go ahead and fall incomplete. I do think after further collaboration, it was determined that it wasn't a fair catch signal. I do think it was just not enough room. I saw the referees discussing it there on the field before that last play.
2nd and 10 now for the North from their 35. They need a touchdown to go into the lead. They're 4 points down. Comes a blitz from Blue. I think Mills was expecting a running back to be there, and there was no one there. Scampering around, manages to get away, now lofts it up, and Bamber on the other end, but well defended by Fraser. Flags flying. So Mills keeping the play alive. 2 flags in, and it may be a PI. Number 33 shaking his head for Blue. We think it might be on him, and that would be Chad Woolrand. So all sorts of action going on there, Sean.
What a great job by Joshua Mills to scramble there. I agree. He looked like he was expecting.
Here's the replay.
He looked like he was expecting some pass.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 62. Pass interference, defense, number 24. By rule, those penalties offset. We'll replay, 2nd down.
So after all that, we're just going to do it again. Quarterback Joshua Mills scrambling around there, left and right, expected some pass protection on the right side from a running back. Didn't quite get it until he rolled out. And I think 62 probably leaked down. You get a little antsy as an offensive lineman. You say 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds into a play. Somebody must be running downfield. But it was a throw, so he ends up offsetting the fact that it would have been a penalty from the other team for some positive yards. We'll do it again on 2nd down.
Yeah, good call, Sean. So, what can they do on 2nd down? Everything happening on that play.
Probably won't be as exciting as the last one.
Here we go then. 2nd from the 35-yard line. The North trying to get these 4 points they need. Mills over the middle, complete. That's caught at the 20. And down to ground goes the receiver. And that is Tom Moore who catches that one, the Loughborough wideout.
That's Tom Moore. He is, yes, he coaches at the Nottingham Caesars Juniors, or did last season, and he plays at the Loughborough students down there. Alongside with Joe Walker, who from Football America is the quarterback coach down there.
It was wide open there. Fraser, who's had a good game so far, not able to get on there. We do have an injury down on the field as players take a knee. And that is a blue shirt, number 54. We hope he's okay.
Tom's one of my coaches. I believe that's Tom. I don't think there are two Tom Moores at left, but that's one of my coaches. Real heads-up receiver and making a good play there as we wait for this injury timeout.
Joseph Chung is the man down, number 54. He's had a good game. Some nice tackles Joseph has made. Hope he's okay. The physios take a look at him. So this game really nicely poised now, isn't it? First down as the North are driving. Mills has found his arm, finds Tom Moore. As Chung up on his feet, as you can see on your screens there, making his way to the sideline. 4-point lead for the North, for the South rather. They're going to want to defend this ferociously. But the North keen to get the win. Jason Scott won 10 years ago. Can he win today? As Mills now lining up pistol formation, 2 receivers top and bottom, 1st and 10. Mills, lots of time, but here's the pressure, and the ball is out and bouncing, and Blue have it. Blue have the ball, and that is the 6th turnover of the game, and that is Odolu Ashoba who recovered the ball, and it was Rodon Zakiri from that defensive end position.
You would see
here's the replay.
With the quarterback dropping back, he gets there, a bit of a great job with the club by the defender there, getting around the edge, and then a smart heads-up play. As I always tell my players, if you're a big guy, stay on the ball. If you're a little guy, pick it up and run. More important to get the ball in this situation and stop that offensive drive by the North.
So Zakiri with the massive play on first down with the turnover. Sack and forced fumble. Ball recovered by Blue, and they take over now on the 26. But there's a whistle blown as the flag comes in.
Might have been a little movement on the offensive line.
Dead ball. Illegal snap on the center. Double movement. 5 yards, still first down.
Double clutched.
Yeah, that's often happens when the centers can't remember his own snap count. Says maybe I'll try it. No, it's not that one.
Snap it early rather than late. That's what I. You snap it early, it's not a false start on anybody.
1st and 15. Culver hands this one on to Robson Close, who picks up maybe half a yard. This North defense now will have to try and get the ball back. We must be well into the second half of this 4th quarter now. Angus Cook, we can see warming up on the sideline, whether he'll come back on. Josh Mills not done a bad job himself, has he, the UClan quarterback?
No, he stepped up well.
He's not put a score on the board, Sean.
He has not put points on the board. It's not like he's done anything egregiously wrong, but you might want to put Cook back in there, give you a chance with the game-winning drive.
Culver hands off, Robson Close, and this time absolutely nothing. Number 44 comes in from this big red defense, and that is Declan Hutchinson, the defensive lineman from Loughborough, comes in and makes a big play on second down. Going to bring up even longer on third. Both these defenses stepping up in this 4th quarter.
What a nice hit and a nice drive here by that defender. Really love seeing making offensive players fall backward instead of forward. That's a great hit.
3rd and 17. Culver drops back, gets the ball to his receiver, who cuts back inside on the jailbreak screen, maybe picks up 8. And that's going to bring up a long 4th down. South have the lead, and their defense is playing well. The North have not been able to make much inroads into this team, into this South defense. Here's the replay on the screen.
You see that safety there for the North, salivating there before the play, kind of arching down a bit, squatting down because he was trying to read out that screen, and some nice jobs by the defenders there. Now we see Mark Price trotting out for the punt return team.
So the North defense playing well. There was Granite Uka on the catch, but couldn't get anywhere near to first down yardage. And this is going to mean that the South are going to punt away and give the North chance to get back. It's going to be Bamber and Price again back there to return.
Timeout, South, 3 minutes 51 left in regulation.
So they want to talk about this punt. They want to talk about this 4th down.
Well, they called a timeout, but it must have been.
Don't want to talk about it.
It must have been one of those just stop the clock timeouts, because they're out in the field right now, ready to go.
I suppose there's not much to talk about. Let's just kick it. We've got Bamber and Price back there to return.
Sometimes you just need to move a guy, and you can't say it loud enough, so you need to use a timeout.
Fulford to punt. Decent snap. Fulford has a look, and this is going to be a fake. Fulford now in a race to the sideline, and he's not going to get there.
And that's exactly what they must have been talking about. They must have called in some sort of a call or adjustment, Couldn't get it there, though. Fumbled it forward, so it's going to go back to where he initially fumbled it, far short of the first down.
Strange call. Why? Why would you fake it?
I guess trying to put the
With
nail
the
in the
lead.
coffin.
Yeah,
but
I guess.
Gutsy.
I guess.
You're giving the other
Risky.
team a chance.
Yeah, now you're inside your own half.
He's
You're
a
giving-
genius if it works. It's not a great call if it doesn't, I guess, but a bit aggressive for my taste.
There you go.
Now that offense trotting out on the field this rainy day. The rain has not stopped in this second half. It's picked up and slowed down, but it has certainly been raining at least somewhat for the entire half here and throughout halftime.
So the North given another chance by this South team.
No Angus
movement
Cook
on the offensive line. I believe it's number 77 that twitched there. But we'll get the call
I think the
from
whole
Brian.
left side twitched. We'll see which one they call it on.
False start. 58 offense. 5 yards. Still first down.
That was a false start on both of them, really. They just got to pick one.
So that's Emmanuel Blee that does get the call. And that's going to be an inauspicious start for this drive for the North. Trying to get the score and go ahead. 4 points behind. Given a breath of life by that strange fake punt call. Trips to the bottom of the screen, including Natal Malero to that slot position, the second receiver out.
And then Mark
One
Price.
receiver to the top. Josh Mills looks left under all sorts of pressure, and that's picked, and it's Big 27 rumbling down the field, and he is going to be brought down, but not after he makes a great play, and that is Tanaka Gahard-Zikwa, and he makes a fantastic play. He's a Kent linebacker, the right man at the right time, and that's a fantastic play to deny the North any sniff. Here's the replay.
And here we watch, he's dropping back and he throws it like it's a screen pass, but he just doesn't follow through with his motion. There wasn't really anyone there, and you gotta love seeing a bigger player like that rumbling down. You can see all of his players jumping on top of him in celebration as they have a sense that that might have been the nail in the coffin for that North team.
So Gahard-Zikwa with the big play on defense gives these South team great field position now towards what must be close to the end of this fourth quarter, or at least close to 2 minutes. Hand off to number 9. What a big hit coming in there as the safety comes in to make that tackle. That's Tom Stewart from his defensive back position, the Durham defensive back coming in to make a big hit. No gain.
Carl, I get the feeling now that Wayne wants to use a trick play, and he's just looking for which one he could put in. Double pass, a little give and go, flea flicker. You can tell the quarterback there rolled out, but he didn't roll out far enough that he couldn't have caught a flea flicker backwards.
So it's Culver and Adoy Asari, who's already got one touchdown in the backfield. As 10 goes in motion, they're going to hand it to 10, and he is smothered, immediately tackled. And that's number 47 coming in on the tackle that time, and that's Emmanuel Okalu, who again is University of Nottingham defender.
And now the North is going to use that timeout on defense, which makes sense. You can control the clock on offense. Got to stop it here when you can.
Timeout North, 2 minutes 42 seconds left in regulation.
2:42.
Yeah, 2:42 left. There you can see the play by Okolo coming in.
What a nice tackle there, throwing him to the ground. And a really important play here to force that third and down. Really shortens how many plays you can run, particularly in these skinny playbooks that you have for this All-Star game. What are you going to do here? A 3rd and 17 is a lot harder to call a play for than what they were looking at before.
So that Okolo tackle is going to bring up 3rd and 17, as you say, Sean. Difficult situation. You
Not
want
a
to
lot of
protect
plays.
this lead as well, because what you don't want to do is throw the turnover, give the North another opportunity, or throw the turnover and allow one of these athletic DBs to return the ball. So Culver back now. Shotgun. Will hand the ball to Robson Close. Ball fumbled, bounces up, and Robson Close recovers it and picks up about 3. Dangerous play there from the South. But at least they keep hold of the ball. Here's the replay.
Yeah, you see this bobbled here. Not a clean handoff, just never fully gathered here. It was a bit low on the belly. Didn't get his hands around it with the basket.
2 minutes 33 seconds left in regulation. 2:33.
I did see the field goal kicker for the South making kicks from this distance in warm-ups, but I would emphasize it was not raining and it was not windy when he was doing that, so I'm not sure that they're going to go for the field goal and expect to make that here.
Well, if they did get something from a kicker, it would give them a 7-point lead, which would mean that the North would need a touchdown and an extra point to tie it. At the moment, 4-point lead, so there is some logic in kicking the ball here, or kicking the field goal.
So he had the leg. He kicked it from the 30-yard line and managed to kick it into the parking lot. And but that's not what they're going to do here, or is it? No, they're just going to go for it.
So Culver and Robson close in the backfield. 2 receivers top, 1 to the bottom. 4th and 13, and someone's called a timeout.
Timeout by the South. That's their last one.
So, timeout, as Wayne Hill wants to talk this one over with his
Timeout
OC.
South, 2:33 left in regulation, their final timeout.
Yeah, you can see on our camera now, you can see this rain. It's just absolutely just downpouring. It almost looks like fog. It's such a thick rain right now. We're only probably 50, 60 yards from the field, and the far sideline is actually skewed a bit.
So the North huddling up, taking advantage of this timeout by Blue, timeout by Wayne Hill and his unit, who want to understand what the best strategy is going to be on 4th down to protect this 4-point lead that they got. 4th and 13, and we must be very close to the 2-minute warning now, as Brian Yates calls the action back live.
I'd almost think a pooch punt would be smarter here. Just get it inside the 5, but
trips to the field side now.
The heavens have closed. The rain is almost completely stopped for this play.
Culver keeps it himself, rolls right, and that's going to be well defended by number 20 who made a tackle earlier.
There is a flag on the
Stewart.
play. Let's see if that's on the defense. If this is a hold on the defense, that'd be a rather costly penalty.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 75. That penalty is declined. Turnover on downs, 1st down.
Here's the replay, Sean, on that one.
See him rolling out there to the right, pursued by that defender, manages to chop it up in the air, and a brilliant job. That's good coaching point right there. Swat the ball down, it's 4th down. You don't need the interception, just get the ball onto the ground.
Tom Stewart making a couple of great plays here in Q4. And that means turnover on downs, and North will take over with an opportunity to drive down the field.
Here we have just a quick pass underneath the middle. Just an incomplete there, bouncing off. The receiver asking for a flag there, not being able to get anything there from the men in the black and white stripes. Not much time left here, Carl. Probably about just under 2 minutes in this game.
The North have to do something if they're going to try and pull this one back. 10 years ago, as we said, Jason Scott won this. He comes back 10 years. It looks like, at the moment at least, it's going to take something special from this North team. But, you know, we were promised surprises. Let's see what Jason Scott and this North team have. Joshua Mills still back there at QB. Trips, top of your screen now. As Mills looks that way, and he is going to go that way. Natal Malero is there, but that's good defending by Fraser, who comes in with a well-timed hit to knock the ball loose.
That's the matchup you want if you're the South. You got your best hard-hitting cornerback there, making the contact. That would have been a catch if he didn't time it up right. And no shock that they went to Malero there on a very similar play that they had earlier in the game.
Fraser's played a really good game.
Yeah, we've said his name quite a bit today, both in coverage and for just those hits, just getting the ball out just at the right time. If you're a quarterback here, you got to love dropping back and seeing this receiving core. I mean, talk about just star-studded receiving core. Mark Price, Natal Malero. You got players from some of the best universities in the country right here.
So what can Mills do from pistol? Looks to his left, and he has Price making an amazing catch on the sideline. Is Mark Price twisting and turning his body. Great body control there, Sean, to bring the ball in, complete for the 1st down, but a flag is down.
I'm just hoping this stands from an exciting play perspective. Let's see what they say.
Personal foul, shot block, number 62 and 79, half distance to the goal, 3rd down.
Wow,
And there's a chop block.
Wipes it off the board.
We saw 3 or 4 chop blocks there in the 1st quarter, and as I said, sometimes when you're an offensive line, you're not used to who's going to go high and who's going to go low, who's reading what, and you're going to end up with a few more chop block flags.
So your tweets are coming in Matt Walker's tweeting, enjoying watching this one instead of commentating. Nice to hear.
2 minute warning. 2 minutes left in regulation.
So 2 minutes to go. And good to hear from you. Loughborough students say great to see such a strong contingent of Loughborough student guys at the All-Stars North trials and the game itself. Good luck.
That's a bad snap there, bobbled twice by the quarterback. Flings it over like a little screen pass and just couldn't get the completion there. That's a broken play right from the start.
Yeah, Mills couldn't do anything on that one. Dan Lewis tweets in, says great leg drive and wiggles from Robson Close for the touchdown. Yep, that was earlier today. We've seen some great athletic skills on show today. If you have an MVP, who's your MVP today? We'd be interested to hear from you. Hashtag UKFA All-Stars.
Do you have any thoughts on MVP, Carl?
I think it's tough to look beyond the play of number 52 on the North team, which is Io Oialola, who's been outstanding for me today, even though he does play for University of Nottingham.
Well, that's a great uni, isn't it? In any event, we have a great performance by him. I know the MVP traditionally goes to the winning team. He's by far been the best defender, in my opinion, today. We'll see what happens.
Here we go then, North. Picking the ball up is a Bansky trying to get to his right-hand side and tackled and out of bounds on 4th down, and it means the South will take over with very little time on the clock. And what do you think Wayne's going to do here? You reckon rub some salt in the wound of the victory? 10 years, 10 years revenge.
It's been a long time, Carl. I will say on that, it was a fake punt. It was snapped to somebody else, but the snap was so low, it looked like, based on how Price was running down the field, that he was expecting to be able to catch a pass off of that fake, not be a run fake. 4th and 20, you're probably not going to run it for a first down, even on a fake with your player in there. So a bit of a broken play due to that, again, a low snap or a bad snap, and that gets the ball back to the South here.
Joseph Warrener says, Mark Price is the MVP for me all day. That's Culver now. Hands the ball off to Robson Close, who's been outstanding himself, and he's stood up and driven back by this North team, who are still playing tough. Number 56, the first man there, and that defender is Scott Tomlinson from Manchester Metro University. He plays his senior football for London Olympians.
Too little too late, potentially, here for the North. Running out of time and running out of timeouts.
Timeout, North. 1 minute 32 seconds left in the game. That's their 3rd and final timeout.
So North with no opportunities left to stop this clock. It's going to take something really special from this defensive unit that have played very well to get this ball back from this South team. Culver and Robson Close have been very good in this second half.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Robson Close win an MVP for a game like this for what he did earlier in this half.
Yeah, a touchdown to Robson Close already. Here comes the pressure from the North team. They do hand it to Robson, and he gets his first man behind a blocker, still on his feet at the 10, and inside the 15 to the 13 is Robson Close. And once he broke that first initial line of scrimmage, he was able to pick up additional yards. Good run.
Carl, if I've done my math right, that's it. There are no timeouts left for the North. If they can kneel it twice now, and that'll be the end of the game, assuming that they don't bobble a snap on a kneel down.
So they are looking to take two running backs in the backfield. They're still in shotgun formation. The referee signaling that the quarterback is in fact going to take a knee, so this should be the last play of the game. And Culver does indeed take a knee, and we think that that's going to be it. We'll wait for the whistle to go.
We might have to kneel it one more time. I don't have the exact clock on me, but at that point it's just pretty much a formality. A bit surprised to see a kneel from the shotgun. That's not a formation I've seen before. But if you haven't snapped under center, why switch what's working?
I guess the victory formation was too far into the playbook for that one session that they had.
Exactly right. But they probably only practice shotgun snaps, so you do something under center and somebody's hands closed and then it's a fumble.
So we've enjoyed bringing you this coverage today from Onside Productions and Football America UK as Culver takes the snap again and takes a knee. And that'll run out the clock. And that's it, Sean. And this after 10 years of waiting for revenge. It's the South All-Stars that come in and beat the North All-Stars in what turned out to be a defensive struggle with some real offensive flair at certain points in the game and some real spectacular athleticism from people like Cook and Price and Robson Close and others. But in the end, it's the South All-Stars that come out winners in this one, 12-8.
What a great showcase of talent here to start out this university season. As we said earlier in the broadcast, most university teams have started their taster sessions now, most of them still accepting new players. If this particular game has gotten you interested, throughout the country, most universities are still going to have those few more rookie sessions at the beginning of the season. So a great way to kick this off. Great game, heavily on the defensive front, and some really impressive plays on both sides of the ball. I really like seeing the linebacker play by the South today. They really just shut down the running game by the North the whole day.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back for some analysis of that second half after this quick break.
Good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're watching this. Hope you have a great day. I hope this podcast has made you smile a little bit. I hope it's given you a bit more insight into what we do and why we do it. But yeah, just keep on listening and thank you.
Going so soon.
Hi, Carl. I've missed you. All those 30 seconds ago.
There you go. We just had the end of the game here, and players are out on the field now, just shaking hands after that great performance there from all of them. Patch, they obviously all know Patch is here, so they're waving at him. But in the end, it's the South that come out as victors, 12-8. What do you make as a result?
Yeah, I didn't quite know what to expect in terms of scoreline or certainly victor. Perhaps the weather played a part. Definitely started to become a running game, certainly for the South when they wanted to wind the clock down. The North tried to put the ball in the air. It's really difficult with that, with the wind and the rain. And the South were able to do quite well with shutting that down. So it was a great spectacle. You couldn't expect everything to go perfect for both offenses, especially one or two training sessions they were able to have. But to say that that's what they had, there were some great plays, some unbelievable athletic grabs and even runs, and some really hard tackling. So it's just a great spectacle, and hopefully this is the kickstart to something much bigger and better maybe in a year's time.
Good stuff. Let's take you through the scores in that second half. Obviously, coming into the half, as you see the cheers, and you can hear the cheers in the background from the South, they're elated. It's been 10 years since they lost, and they come back and get revenge. Anyway, it was Robson Close that opened the scoring for the South. And that was a nice touchdown. When it seemed to turn around when they brought Culver in, the University of Hertfordshire quarterback, and Robson Close as running back, number 6. It seemed to really turn around for that South team.
It was really strong play. It was nip and tuck in the beginning for both, I think. I really liked. Who's number 6?
Robson Close.
Robson Close,
was a touchdown
really
scorer
talented.
on that
He's
drive.
very patient. Everything about what he was doing was really patient.
Yeah.
And again, I'd love to watch him in action throughout the season. To be fair, yeah, the defense, like some unbelievable athleticism. Again, I'll go back to number 52 for Nottingham for the North. Was able to close lots of stuff down. Just such talents. And like I say, from a selfish point of view, I can't wait to see some of these guys in action for GB students when that comes around.
Absolutely. So that was the first score from the South team. That brought the score to 8-6. Wayne Hill not choosing to go for 2 points, but just choosing to go for 1, and that extra point was failed. And then it was kind of back and forth for a bit until Tom Seeger got the pick for South, and then Adoy Asari was able to go in for the touchdown on a great run himself, and that brought the score to 12-8. And then it was kind of back and forth between these two teams as they got into the fourth quarter. There was no score really in the fourth. What do you make of that? You think the weather had an impact on that?
I do, and I think there was some chopping and changing, making sure that everyone's getting their value for the money. These guys are paid to come to this event today, so I think the coaches were definitely making sure that people got some valuable game time. There was plenty of highlights that most players can go away with saying that they've got as well from today. But yeah, possibly, like I say, Wayne probably wanted to slow the clock down, slow the game down in those final minutes for the South, and the North obviously were going for pass play after pass play that just unfortunately was coming up short. So it made for a little bit less of a spectacle in that sense. But even then, Mark Price,
87
what
for the
an
North.
Amazing grab that he made.
Incredible
just here
catch.
on the sideline, just
Absolutely.
in front of us. So yeah, right throughout there was some great plays, and
so we think we're going to bring you an MVP trophy
exclusive.
soon,
Thank
and we're
you,
going
Joe.
to bring
Exclusive.
you. We're getting signals here as we talk to you about who the MVP might be. So I wonder who your MVP is at home. But we'll show you that on the field, I guess. We'll get the camera on the field so you can see the trophy being lofted up. And the MVP gets to choose between a couple of really nice helmets. Well, a helmet or what else?
or pads.
Awesome extension shoulder pads. Very nice. So there you go.
And
There
they get
is
a game ball.
game ball as well.
Yeah.
So we think we know who the MVP is, but we're going to bring you that live. As you can see, hopefully on your screen now, you can see Wayne Hill coming out to receive it's actually Dave from Football America UK, who's just addressing the two teams there. Obviously, Football America UK, the sponsors of today, and they've done a great job. I guess Dave's saying, did you enjoy yourselves?
It wasn't like this back in my day. That's probably what I say.
Telling those stories from his playing days. But yeah, he's done a great job with Football America. And it's great to have a sponsor like them, I guess, from a Bucks perspective and from a BAFA perspective, that are able to invest some time and energy and kit and effort to bring this sort of thing off.
Yeah, there we go. MVP confirmed. Dave handing over there.
Yeah, so number 22 of the South team getting his MVP, and he'll be happy with that.
Alexander Ampafor, is that correct?
Alexander Ampafor with the MVP honours.
And choosing his matching colour winning apparatus.
Yeah, he's just going to have to ask to have that resprayed for the colour of his actual team. Yeah, good job by him.
Great game,
Well done,
great
Wayne
game.
Hill as well. You can see Wayne there addressing both the teams. And he's a happy coach. So what have you made it as an overall spectacle? Has it lived up to your
Great.
expectations today?
Yeah, it was everything we kind of hoped it would be as fans of the game and event organisers, I suppose, from the part of Football America. I'm sure they've loved every part of it as well. That nothing in particular has gone awry. Maybe the weather. Hopefully next year's fixture will be at a different time of the year, maybe more suited to some passing game, which I'd love to see.
Joe Walker there just getting thanked for his efforts. We spoke to Joe.
Quite rightly, yeah.
Yeah, we spoke to Joe pre-game and at half-time as well, and he's been running around. He's spoken to us and he's been organising things, came up and told us who the MVP was, and has really put in a lot of effort as we get ready for this trophy to be lofted up by the South team. And they'll be happy to walk away with the win today. What about those teams that couldn't get down to play?
It's unfortunate, I suppose, but it comes with the territory of the scheduling that we've had to go with, making sure that it didn't impact on the start of the university season or indeed the end of it from last year, and then transitioning into the national, into the summer league as well. So hopefully once we have that reflection about the event today, I'll definitely be talking closely with Joe and working with look at all the South guys in the background.
So this is the trophy. The captains have come over. I believe that's Fraser there holding the trophy, and here we go, and it's the South All-Stars team that win in this Football America UK All-Star game. It's been a great spectacle. Both teams have come out and looked fantastic. The coaching's been good. It's been a defensive struggle, as you would expect, only having one session to actually put an offensive in. But we're going to say goodbye to Patches and head back down to the handover to Sean in the booth. We're going to bring it back to the cameras.
Thanks for watching.
All right. So thanks very much, everyone, for joining us for the UK All-Stars game. We hope that you've enjoyed it, and we hope that you'll join us next time for the UK All-Stars game. In the meantime, we've got the Buck season coming up. I know you'll be heavily involved in that, Marcus.
Yep, heavily involved with the scheduling at the start of the year, and now we, get to the point where the teams will be gearing up for their first game. In most of them are at the start of November. And then hopefully we'll have more of this kind of stuff, the live streams, the commentary, the analysis, and all those elements that go with it. For plenty of games throughout the year, actually, we're trying to work with, again, for the BBC and yourselves with live streaming like we did for the national finals. And the hope is that, spectacles like Explosion, for example, is covered by that, and we can really reach a wider audience rather than probably the isolated figure that we are at the minute as University of American Football. And really expose it to absolutely everybody that has an interest in American sports, in sports in general, and certainly the university sector as a whole, to get them involved in different elements, whether that's this kind of stuff, the journalism, the photography, the physiotherapy, everything that we can try and integrate into the university system. That's the aim.
Good stuff. Well done today, Marcus. Good to see everyone on the live stream. Thanks very much for joining us for this All-Stars game. We've very much enjoyed having your company here on Onside Productions. Thanks to Sean, Steve, and everyone on the Onside Productions crew. We look forward to seeing you very soon for more British American football. But from Coventry, it's the South that take the win, 12-8 over the North.